Hello.
Damn, mama.
Hello, y'all.
Hello, people.
How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good, because we are. Welcome to another episode of Melanated Thought, ladies and gentlemen, where we talk about things that affect the black community. I am Reggie O.
And I am Mimi the lady.
And what a lovely lady she is, and I ain't just saying that because I'm married to her.
Wow.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. But, man, we got a good show today, hopefully. I'm getting ready to let everybody know what's up and let you know that we're running just a little bit late due to circumstances beyond our control. We were sleeping. But anyway, I ain't going to lie.
Long weekend, long week, long weekend.
Yeah,
so
you know what? It really was. It
was good.
It was a good weekend. I mean, the weekend was really good. We'll get into detail about that in just a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, babe, how was your week?
Long. Working through closing. Finally got that done. But I think we might have a couple more things to do tomorrow, but it was long. But other than that, Tuesday. When was Tuesday? Was that the 14th?
Yeah, I think it was.
That was my not that old. No, Wednesday, the 14th, was my 30-plus year good friend Patrick D. Lee birthday. So happy birthday to him.
Yes, indeed.
And then your birthday is coming up this Wednesday, the 23rd.
Yes, indeed.
Happy early birthday to you, sweetie.
Thank you, baby.
And then we rolled all that into a big old celebration for the both of you guys yesterday at Dave and Buster's.
Hey, you know what? That was a fun weekend, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
And I was telling Mike, he said, wow, I had a good time yesterday. I said, that's good. I said, Reggie said that's his first time ever having a birthday party. He was like, really? I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. I found it hard. I was not hard to believe, but I was like, wow. So that was one of the reasons why I really, really wanted to bring it to fruition, get it done, invite people like your cousins that you haven't seen in a while, and just hanging out with some of our friends that we haven't seen in a while due to Miss COVID. But it all came together pretty good. I'm glad. I hope you had a good time.
I had an excellent time, man. I mean, again, like you said, I saw my cousin. I grew up with that cat. Mm-hmm. So we have of course, they have a history together. Me and him growing up in rural Oklahoma together. And getting into cousin shenanigans. Nothing major. We didn't kill anybody, anything like that. So, start trying to figure out what we did. We just did stuff in the country. What country people do. Plain and simple. So, but yeah, it was a pretty good time, man. I saw his daughter. I hadn't seen her since she was little. Wow. And she's taller than me.
She sure is. She's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. That's
Very
my little
beautiful.
cousin, man. That's my little cousin.
Very mannerable. I like that.
Yes, indeed. Well, considering how the dad grew up, I'm not surprised.
And let me get out my soapbox.
Come on, get on
But
it.
we need some more of that now.
Come on, say that again.
Some of these kids, they look at you and be like, well, do I speak to you first? But I thought I was supposed to be spoke to first because I'm the elder here. But they be looking like, hi. I'm like, okay, forget it.
And that's part of the reason why we're doing this show. That's
Just
part of the
forget
reason why
it.
we're doing this show. That's part of the reason right there why we're doing the show, the attack on black manhood.
But it was nice meeting them. And
Yes, it was.
hope we get to spend some more time with them.
Yes,
Hang
indeed,
out
man.
with them more.
Yes, indeed. But again, we had fun, though. I loved it, man. And that was the very first birthday party I've ever had in my whole... And that's not a lie, y'all. When you grow up poor, I mean just that. When you grow up poor...
Were you poor or were you po?
Po. P-O. Couldn't afford the O-R. Or at the end of it. I was po.
We sure was po.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
po. Are you serious?
you know what? Growing up in rural Oklahoma, living with your grandparents, they're on a fixed income. Not very much can happen with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I appreciated
But she
everything that I
baked you
got.
some homemade cakes or some homemade tea cakes or something for your birthday.
Yeah, I did get that.
Love is more important.
I
than
did get that.
anything.
That's why I don't really bank on big things. The small things mean the most to me.
I know that's what people come. What did he want? What does he want? I said he said just the day, just to enjoy the day. That's all.
That's
he
it.
Said he
That's all.
wanted.
And that was cool with me. Nobody had to give me anything. You didn't even have to give me anything, and you're my wife. But I appreciate what you did get. I mean, you added to my Chuck Taylor collection.
Alrighty. I working hard too. I said, I'm gonna get thee. Cause you kept saying they're not gonna be here enough time. I was like, oh yes they will. I got a special relationship with UPS, honey. They know me personally.
Man, come on. Yeah, she they know her on a first name basis, man. So it is what it is. But but anyway, man, that's pretty much all that. That pretty much sums up my week too. It's just work as usual.
As usual. Praise God.
Yes,
But,
indeed.
yeah,
I'm glad to
as
do it,
usual.
but still, man, that's pretty much it. I mean, Grant only live like what, 10, 15 minutes away?
If that.
If that, depending on traffic.
I live kind of close too. I live about, what, 1 minute?
Not even that. A few seconds.
30 seconds. Blessing, highly favored. But yeah, good week. Good week. This week gonna be a good week too, because of course you was born.
Yeah.
So that'll make it all better. But we'll talk about that next week. See what we did for his birthday this week.
Yeah, I don't really know what, to be honest with you. Again, just like last year, I don't know what I want to do.
You like me, you don't really. I mean, I'm blessed to be here. I'm thankful for my birthday, but I have some friends and family members who celebrate the whole month, the whole week, take off several days. I be like, okay. I just never done that. But yeah, you like me, you don't do all that.
No, I really don't, man. I mean, for me, just to live to see another year, that's good enough for me. I mean, I'll be the big 5'1" in a few days.
Woohoo!
So, and
Sexy chocolate. No, you sexy vanilla.
Thank you, baby.
Vanilla.
Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. Yeah, I got that whole light skin thing going on, so it is
God
what it
bless
is.
your heart.
Oh, is that bad?
Nah, I'm just saying, God bless your heart.
Okay.
But in your 51 years on this thing we call Earth,
Yeah.
you done made it around the sun almost 51 years.
Yeah.
So what have you learned? What is one thing that you have truly learned?
Trust
If somebody asked you that question.
Trust people to be themselves. Trust people to be people.
To show you who they are.
Exactly. Just trust people to be people, because what you see, when you see a person, what you see isn't necessarily what you're going to get. Just let that person know that, get to know that person, and that person will reveal their true intentions, and you can make your judgment from there. So that was the biggest lesson that I learned this 51 years of living. Just trust people to be people. You know what I mean?
So when they let you down, it's nothing to be
it's
surprised about.
There you go. Exactly.
I have to learn that, because it's still, I be
Exactly.
like, what the? Who did what? Oh, no. I'm going to have to learn that philosophy, because it still surprises me on some things people do and say these days.
It's I guess because when you're a child, you don't really hold on, let me put the splash screen up. You don't really understand how adulting works when you're a child, because you're just learning yourself. Everything is brand new to you when you're a child, so you trust people. Plain and simple.
Outright.
No
questions asked.
No questions asked. You automatically trust that person because they're an adult.
Right.
You don't know that. You don't know if that person has ulterior motives or not.
Right.
So you take them at face value.
That's why I hate when people mess with kids, and that just burns my galls.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You're right. But then when you get an adult,
but when you get to be an adult, you
learn
a little bit.
Oh,
yeah, you learn a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because even in my 20s, man, I'll be the first to tell anybody I was a little bit gullible. I'll be the first to tell anybody that.
Me too.
So, but after a while, I'm like, wait a minute, I should have trusted this person just to be a person, and just give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, take him at face value, give him the benefit of the doubt for a few seconds, and after that, do your thing.
Do your own.
You make your own assessment. Yeah, make your own assessment. So, and that's when I learned how to pay attention to what they're not saying, as opposed to pay attention to what they're saying. So that was that.
Okay. Good show today. I'm gonna try to put my part in, but I really don't know much about being a black man.
Right.
I know about being a black woman.
Well,
but I have my thoughts about black manhood.
About the only thing that, well, you're my partner anyway, in life and among other things. So for you to give me your opinion from a black woman's perspective will be golden.
That's what I'm going to try to do.
And that's what I want.
Awesome.
All right. So, hold on. Let me get this music crack-a-lacking.
Something new?
Yeah, I think it is. I don't think I played this one yet. No, I haven't. I remember the town. I remember the tune. I probably have. Ain't no telling. But anyway. Yeah, so on with the subject. The reason why I came up with this subject is because I get so sick of hearing about black men in general being ostracized about this whole toxic masculinity thing. We did a show on that previously about toxic masculinity and what it is and what it means. We also talked about the emasculation of black men. But black manhood in general is constantly under attack. And one of the earliest cases that we know of as far as black manhood being attacked, one of the most famous case is the Emmett Till murder. You got a young black man that was accused of whistling at a white woman. Come to find out she lied years later. So that right there kind of puts everything in perspective as far as the show is concerned, because you got people out here that will say that the reason why he was killed is because he was black. No, the reason why he was killed because he was a black man.
Right.
Because if he was, like, let's say, switching around like Billy Porter, nothing would have happened to him.
Oh my God.
I'm just being honest. Let's just be real about the situation. See, and speaking of Billy Porter, let's talk about one of the founders of rock and roll, Little Richard. Everybody knows Little Richard was just flat out flamboyant. Everybody knows that. And Little Richard did an interview years and years ago. I forgot what talk show he was on, but he said something really profound. He said the reason why he acted so feminine was so that he wouldn't be a threat to white men, so they would go out and buy his records. Obviously it worked.
Yeah,
because he wasn't viewed as a threat.
One of the greatest entertainers.
Exactly. He wasn't viewed as a threat.
Right.
Michael Jackson looked up to him. He pretty much discovered James Brown back in the day, told James Brown where to go to get his records done. Because they come from the same area in Georgia. So he is definitely an icon. Elvis even looked up to him to a certain degree. So with that being said, man, the reason why he acted the way he acted was so people so white folks would go out and buy his records. And it worked because the white girls would go out and buy the records. And if the daddy saw him switching around on stage and acting like a woman, he wouldn't be a threat. But if he was like, let's say, a Chuck Berry or a Lloyd Price or a Fats Domino, real masculine, and had that, oomph to him, they wouldn't never let those girls buy the records.
Well, let me ask a question on that then. So he did a switcheroo. Do you not really admire that, but do you understand, or do you think he's faking the making?
Well,
or do you understand why he did?
I understand why he did it because he's an entertainer, and he wanted those crossover dollars. He already had the black dollars locked down. He wanted those crossover dollars. So that's why he acted the way he acted. Now, granted, in that same interview, the interviewer asked Little Richard, what's the biggest misconception people have about Little Richard? He said that I don't like women. That's a big misconception. He said, I love women. And he sit there and admit, he said, have I been with men? Yes, I have. But I love women, which means he was bisexual, which we didn't really care about that anyway. We just like Little Richard's music. We didn't care about that. But Little Richard got children.
Yeah, I learned that. I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked.
Yeah, a lot of people were.
He does.
So
sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, though.
And that's pretty much what he did, man. I mean, I'm not knocking Little Richard for that. I mean, that's his business. I mean, he felt that the only way he could sell some records was to act like that, and that's fine. I ain't mad at the brother. The brother blazed trails, and he was an avid civil rights activist up until his death. So I'm not knocking Little Richard for that. I'm not mad at him for that at all. But the reason for this show is because of the fact that I was well. Let me tell you how I came up with the idea. I was perusing through. I was on Twitter, I think. I was perusing through Twitter, and somebody had posted a meme up. On one side, you had Billy D. Williams. On the other side, you had Billy Porter. Kind of like that meme right there. I did that one myself.
Oh, is that Billy Porter?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Okay. So, and in that meme, the top of the meme said, "How can we go from this Billy D. Williams to this Billy Porter?" And he's at the bottom of that meme. It said, "There's a blatant attack on black manhood." And I said, "That's a good show subject." When we talk about that, we talked at it a few times, but we didn't really get into detail about it.
Right.
So that's why I came up with that subject, and that's why
we'll get into it today.
Definitely.
Because
It's definitely under attack, and I got a few examples about what I'm talking about here. Because we'll get into that, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and
books
get to
of the day.
Heck yeah, books, baby. And we will go ahead and get the books to read right here. Boom, there we go. Put my splash screen up there. Brother Minister Malcolm X. The books that every black person should read at least once in a lifetime. Let's go ahead and get this first one up here. First one is called The Man Not. Race, Class, Genre, and the Dilemmas of Black Manhood, written by Tom Curry. Now, once you see that pop up on the splash screen, pictured in that photo is the youngest person ever to be executed in the United States, George Stinnett. He was accused of raping 2 little white girls. Now, he was coerced into confessing because they told him that if he signed a little piece of paper, he could go home. And of course, he's crying. Wants to see where his mother is. His mother was working. Now, the story goes, he knew the little girls. Knew them, played with them and everything. These girls came up raped and killed. And of course, with him being a little black boy and knowing those girls,
he got the charge.
They got to charge somebody, so this little nigga did it. That's the way they saw it.
How old is he? Like 19?
He was like 11 years old.
Jesus.
The youngest person ever to be executed in the United States is a little black boy. And he was accused of rape.
Well, if they was raped, his DNA would have been on it. They find his DNA.
Oh, this is before DNA evidence was even prevalent. But
they just
I'm white and I say so. That's the rule they used.
Just put it on. You look like you did it. There he is.
Oh no, he looked like he did it because he was a little black boy.
Right.
And little black boys love. The only thing they want to do is have sex with little black girls at 11 years old.
Little white girls.
Yeah, little white girls. I'm sorry, but yeah, at 11 years old.
Okay. That's sad.
But anyway, so this book right here talks about what leads to the black manhood being under attack, and some of the steps that we can do to try to prevent it. It's a really good book, actually.
Okay.
It's a really, really, really good book. So people really definitely need to check that out. Second one, Dog Whistle Politics. We talked about this book before. By Ian Haney Lopez. Let me explain to everybody what Dog Whistle Politics are. In the 1980s, when Ronald Reagan was running for president, he used a term called welfare queens. We already knew he was talking about black women. We knew that for a fact. That's just his way. There you go. That's just his way of saying black women without saying black women.
Right.
Hillary Clinton called black men super thugs. We knew what she was talking about. But, that's her way of saying black men, but black men without saying the words black men. And so on and so forth. There's several examples. Those are just 2 I want to use for the show. But anyway, that's what Dog Whistle Politics are. It's saying what you mean without actually saying what you mean. Especially when it comes to black people. So, there's that. Good book, though. Really good book. You haven't checked that out.
Okay.
This is a newer book by Philip Scott called Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. Now, us living in corporate, both of us being in corporate America, we have been privy to passive aggressive racism.
Oh, yeah.
I know I have.
Oh, yeah. I just start with my hair. Look at your hair. I mean, like, oh my God.
Exactly.
Can I touch it? No.
Exactly. And I've been through that myself with my hair being so damn curly. Can I touch it? No, this is my hair. Leave my hair alone. Do you see me trying to touch yours?
And then, like, if you know something or you can show them a different way of getting a solution, they just be like, you just a unicorn. Like, I don't have a brain.
Oh, man, yeah.
Like, I can't think outside the box sometimes.
And with me being a technician, you know I go through that shit all the time. I've told you stories about that.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes you don't know if that's an insult to your character, insult to your education. It's just like, do I even indulge in the bullshit or just let it roll off my back like water like a duck, you know?
There you go.
There's no need. But you gonna learn today.
Oh, man, come on.
You gonna learn today.
Oh, man, come on now. You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today, definitely. So, anyway, that's a good book, too. And this is a recent book right here. This is the last one. This is a recent book. It's called White Space, Black Hood, Opportunity Hoarding and Segregation in the Age of Inequality by Cheryl Cashin. Okay, this book right here, it's not really recent, but it's recent enough. It's written in 2007, 2008, somewhere along in there. And it basically talks about how when you're in a neighborhood, or just in general, when you're in the neighborhood and it's pretty much a predominantly white neighborhood. What happens when the white people move out, the jobs and opportunities go with them.
Of course.
And that's what they mean by the hoarding. And then the segregation and the redlining and the whole nine. Because we do live in a system of racial inequality. We always have. This country was founded on the principles of racism. We know this already. I've said this several times on this very same podcast. So that's pretty much what this book is about. So that's all I got. Those are the 3 books. Good reads, though.
Very good selection.
Yes, indeed.
Pick those up, people.
Hey, this is my favorite section of the show. Hold on, let me get the splash screen up.
Let me clear my throat.
Let you clear your throat. I'm sorry, I had a little flashback moment of DJ Cool. I'm surprised we didn't play that this weekend. Hold on, where are we? There we go. Bold words from a black woman. What you got today, baby?
Well, as you all know, this segment is near and dear to my heart.
Yes, indeed.
And I always try to find a quote from a black woman that I can relate to or have used in my ordinary, my life on this earth, or, you know, different things to help me justify who I am as a black woman.
Right.
And to further along in my life period. As you all know, this week a beautiful movie came out called The Woman King.
Yeah.
Starring Miss Viola Davis.
One of my favorite.
Award-winning Viola Davis.
One of my favorite actresses, by the way.
Absolutely. So with that being said, I have a quote.
Okay, what you got?
And I can relate to this quote because, like I said, I love it. I just love it.
And there she go.
Look at that. If you just don't, I just don't have words. It's like some people can say something, you be like, and then some people you be like, okay. But this quote that I love by her is more of a aha moment to me.
Yeah.
It's short and sweet.
Okay.
And here I go.
All right.
Quote unquote. I truly believe that the privilege of a lifetime is being who you are.
Man, that's deep as hell.
It kind of relate back to what you said. If somebody asks you one question that you've learned about your 51 years on this earth.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to stop predicating on why people don't like me, why people hating on me. Because I've had so many people make up lies on me, scandalize my name, just talk about me, just don't even know me.
That's everybody.
And I used to be like, dang. And, you know, sometimes you be like, well, I'm going to try to be their friend. I stopped that a long time ago.
As you should have.
But I'm not going to sit here in front. It took me a moment.
Right.
You know, 'cause especially if you're being, you know, I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything, but
Nobody is.
I don't think I should have scandal on my name either.
I agree with
or
you on
nobody
that.
don't like me just because. If somebody asks you, why you don't like her? I don't know.
That's the dumbest thing in the
That's
world.
the dumbest thing in the world. But I really ascertained to this quote. I love this quote.
Yeah.
And thank you, Miss Viola Davis, for this quote. I truly believe that the privilege of a lifetime is being who you are, and that's what I strive to be.
Yeah, that's a nice quote right there. That's beautiful right there, man. That's a beautiful quote. It really is. So, with that said, man, I can relate to that quote myself as a black man. I can relate to that.
Some of the women that we had at your birthday party yesterday, I'm gonna reach out to them either tonight or tomorrow. I would love for all of us to get together and go represent and go see her movie together, because it says it's better than Black Panther. So I don't know. Like I said, I really wasn't even into Black Panther until I met you.
Yeah.
And you was going and told me you've seen it several times. Like, what's so good about this movie? And then when I saw it, I was like, uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can all get together, and I can tell we are all strong black women. Maybe this will strengthen us even more. So shout out to this beautiful, beautiful black queen.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is what I know about that particular story that she's talking about. That the woman king, the misconception is this right here, is that she sold other black people into slavery. That's a misconception. True enough, she did. They were prisoners of wars, but still, that particular queen you're talking about, she did sell black people into slavery under the premise that they were going to bring them back after a few years.
Oh, okay.
You know what happened with that? You know that shit didn't happen.
Oh, yeah. That just didn't happen to her. It happened to a lot of us.
Happened to a whole lot of people. Right. Now, true enough, there was some corrupt kings and queens and tribal leaders and stuff like that, and they just sold black people just to be selling them because they want to get, come up in the world or whatever. But this particular lady right here, true enough, she did sell people into slavery, but she sold them into slavery under the premise that they would be brought back. And they never got brought back.
Yes, I don't think she should be faulted for that.
She shouldn't, but people do.
Like we talked about earlier, she trusted some people.
Yeah.
And they
let her down.
They let her down.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
So anyway, yeah, I want to go see a movie myself. That'd be pretty cool to watch.
Well, I'll go with the girl, then you and I can go later.
That sounds good.
But yeah, I really want to go with some other women.
I understand that. Yeah, I get that part. I get that part.
Support. Yeah. All right, moving on to hot current events.
Man,
I'm gonna say hot topics. Current
hot
events.
topics, current events, same thing.
Every week we have something to just make you say, what the.
Okay, you got some damn moments. That's what you got, babe.
Well, I'm gonna start off saying this as a premise of my own personal experiences and my own feelings. I love teachers.
Okay.
I love principals.
Right.
I love anybody who takes the time and the effort
to educate
and mold and deal with a child 8 to 9 hours out of the day.
I agree with you on that one, man.
But this story right here hurt my heart. Video of former principal pushing autistic child down in school was released. Police charged administrator with willful cruelty to a minor after months of no action. A California principal has been charged with child abuse and endangerment after video surfaced showing him pushing a special needs student to the cafeteria floor at the end of the previous school year.
Right.
The educator who once pledged to erase the distance in learning by extending grace, compassion, and support to his students is no longer employed at the school. Kudos to that. I'm going to put his name out there. His name is Brian Vullahart, and he was a principal at Walters Elementary School in Fresno, California.
Right.
First of all, he's a child. Second of all, he's artistic. Where is your empathy?
But let me tell you something.
Where is your empathy? That's cruelty to a minor.
Let me break it down to you like this. Now, Arnez J, which is one of my favorite comics, by the way, he has a mentally challenged brother. I have a mentally challenged sister. And just like Arnez J, my mentally challenged sister adores her older brother. Just like Arnez J's brother Rodney adores him. I'll be the first to tell anybody, I have gotten into fights over my sister because people picking on her because of because she is the way that she is.
A disability.
Right. Because people do that shit. Don't ask me why.
Oh, yeah, and it's sick. It's sick.
But people do that shit
on daily.
And I will tell anybody. Well, I will mess with my sister if you want to. You will get your ass whooped. I promise you, you will. One way or another. So, for an adult, an educator, mind you, to do this to a child that's special needs, he doesn't need to be in that line of work because you're going to deal with people like that. That's just the way it is. Nothing you can do about it unless you just stop teaching altogether. So, everything that happens to him, I hope it happens to him tenfold. I don't wish no bad on nobody, but I hope no good happens to this man.
But the reason why he did is because he said he got tired of the child acting out all the time. He's autistic.
He's autistic.
That's part of artistic.
That's part of autism.
I don't know if that's a word or not.
Autism. It's called
autism. Yeah. So that's what I was just saying. I think a couple of shows ago, you cannot have blinders on. You're gonna have to learn how to deal with all different facets of children.
I agree.
And acting out all the time is just probably his nature of being artistic.
Well, see, that's the thing about mentally challenged people. They don't know how to process the world the way we do.
Absolutely.
We just barely know how to process it our damn selves.
Absolutely.
And they really don't.
Absolutely.
So you have to understand that.
I mean, like I said, if he was having a bad day, okay, but sometimes you gonna have to be less frustrating and realize, okay, maybe I need to do something different.
I agree.
And I honestly don't feel like, I hate to say this, I know he went through the ranks of becoming a principal, but I don't think he needs to work with children anymore. This is an artistic child who is defenseless. Totally defenseless. So, well, I'm glad they decided to charge him.
Oh, yeah, charges.
Eventually they did. After months with no action, but like I said, I want no one to lose their job, especially if they had the credentials, but as a principal, you should know better. What's wrong?
Oh no! Give me a ping Rod to have him come talk to come to the show to listen to the show. What else you got, baby?
Okay, so the next story. Here's another one. A father in a viral video threatening children on school bus faces charges. Alleged bully's parent speaks out saying they were awaiting a personal apology. A Kentucky father caught on a viral video yelling at elementary-aged children on a school bus after his daughter was allegedly bullied has been charged with terroristic threatening, disorderly conduct, and menacing. Damn! Check out this name, Delvante.
Oh, you know he's black.
Delvante King was reportedly arrested on September 9th, 2 weeks after he approached the bus and threatened to flip it over. Quote, "I'm going to flip this entire bus with everybody on it. And I mean that. That go for everybody on here. Touch my daughter again and I am flipping this whole bus." I'm torn on this story because, again, someone was bullying his daughter. But then you got to take into account there's some innocent kids on this bus who probably never did nothing to your daughter.
Well, him threatening everybody and well, that's a typical father reaction. It really is. That's a typical father reaction because he's pissed off that his daughter's being picked on.
Right, because I can understand she's 9 years old and she had been bullied for months. But what got him fed up is when she came home and she had a lump on her head after being jumped the day before.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and so eventually someone pointed out the children and they told him, well, he came on the bus and he threatened us. And he admitted he let his emotions go.
Yeah.
And his frustration got of anger.
Yeah.
But some of the other student parents want him to personally send them an apology. But he was like, man, what did you expect me to do? She has been bullied. I mean, picking on, calling her name, but when she come on with bruises and lumps and bumps,
come on, man,
that's a different scenario.
Come on, man,
that's a different scenario. So
now, me being who I am, I taught mine martial arts personally, and I told mine that if you can walk away from a fight, walk away from a fight. But if push comes to shove, do what I taught you to do.
But then again, I mean, his language also.
Well,
like
you know,
one of his things, he was like,
he
I'm
was
gonna say
cussing him
this
out,
one
wasn't he?
time.
Yeah.
Bitch, you touch my daughter again, you gonna have to get your mama, your daddy, your uncle, and whoever. And that go to whoever is on here. So, you know,
That's a
again,
typical,
those are children he's talking to.
that's a typical black person. That's a typical black man response. Let's put it like that. That's a typical black man response. Yeah.
And he said my blood was boiling. I mean, anybody where you come on and your daughter got this lump on her head. I mean, I know you're talking to children. And so what did Brother Marco say? Instead of cussing, you do what? What did he say? I forgot how he called it.
I forgot how he put it.
You use your other words, you know. So at that time, he couldn't find no other words to use. And he just let what came out of his mouth flow. And he said he apologized, but I don't know why they want him to personally apologize. I don't get that.
Do like your grandma said, lose your religion.
Right. And
that's exactly what he did.
That's what he did.
That's what my man did.
That's why I said I'm torn with it. Like I said, I know he was speaking ill to other children, but then what about his daughter as well? You know, I'm pretty sure there's not a parent who would have. I mean, he didn't lay his hands on nobody. He was just kind of like being, you know, went into protective mode of his child.
As he should. That's what a man does, man.
Right.
Come on. His daughter too?
Right.
Come on.
Right.
I don't care what nobody says, man. When it comes to daughters, men have a soft spot there for their daughters. Their sons will take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. But a daughter, come on, man. Come on.
Well, hopefully this will be settled outside the courts, because, you know, people will sue you in a minute.
Of course.
And if he wants to give them an apology, let that come from a genuine, sincere place, or just not just because they are threatening you or you feel like you were obligated to. I will apologize to those children, but I don't know, the parents.
Let me ask you this, babe. I think I already know the answer to this. How do you think your pops would have reacted to that?
My pops would have said something, be like, fuck all y'all. I ain't apologize to nobody. Don't touch my kids.
Exactly.
Point blank, period, with the T. That's how he was. My dad was very protective.
Of course.
So, like I said, that's why I'm saying I'm torn on this story. I know I don't want nobody to say, no, I'm not saying that. I understand what he said to those children. Probably some of those kids probably never had words like that or been talked to before. But you got to separate being protective,
right,
being emotional,
right,
about someone that you love,
right,
who is defenseless,
being
bullied by not one, not two, maybe like 3 or 4 other children.
Well, he said she got jumped
on,
which means it was more than one person that did it.
Person. So I understand. I'm not gonna say I agree, but I understand. Moving on.
There you go.
This.
Oh, you lost a word. This must be a good one.
You know, COVID. This is me personally speaking. Like I just stated earlier, I have a special relationship with our UPS driver over here. And some of the Amazon workers too. Yeah. They be like, hey, I'm like, hey, have a good day.
Right.
But when you're doing your job as a FedEx worker and you're getting racial slurs thrown at you when you're just trying to do your job,
man,
they really don't say why this man did this. Even the driver said he was just shocked after the man just started throwing racial slurs at him and attacking him, took packages off the truck and started throwing them at him and punching him, and the whole time calling him the N-word. Why? So, well, did your package not get there on time? That's not that man's fault. If it's not on the truck, it's not on the truck.
So this white man, and I know it was a white dude.
Mm-hmm. If he's throwing the N-word, more like
yeah.
In Protag, Michigan. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. That's white folk country. Mm-hmm. That's like a white supremacist enclave, if I make no mistake. So, bruh man was doing his job. Mm-hmm. White dude come out and just start calling him all kinds of niggas and every damn thing else under the sun. Called him everything but a child of God, as my grandmother would say. Hitting him, throwing packages at him. For what reason? Does it even say why?
They just said the FedEx driver said the man approached him,
right,
and just started punching him and calling him the N-word, right, and then he kept saying, "I'm gonna have my dog attack you."
Oh,
just ridiculous, just too super aggressive, for no reason. It really doesn't say why he did. He just came out the house and just started. I don't know if the man, like we said, his melanated color threatened him, but you know, it's hard out here. They already It's already hard out here for a black man anyway.
Exactly.
But now they trying to say that the white guy that attacked him was high on methamphetamine.
Oh yeah, that's
and was taken to a hospital for a mental health condition.
Yeah, that's the excuse they always use. There's always something wrong.
Attack.
Yeah. It's always something wrong whenever somebody white does that to a black person.
But they are going to seek charges, though.
Of course they should. As they should. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, you just up here doing your job. Now you getting attacked while driving. Now you getting attacked while working. So it's like, damn, what do we do?
Let's see what Ryan's saying.
So here's the next one. Moving on.
All right.
This goes back to what you were speaking of earlier, the splash screen you had of Malcolm X.
Right.
Which I think is so beautiful. His legacy continues to impact the citizens of the world. Malcolm X became first black honoree in Nebraska Hall of Fame after being rejected 2 times for being considered controversial. A bronze bust of prominent civil rights leader Malcolm X is slated to be displayed in Nebraska State Capitol. They have tried 15 years ago to get this bust in honor of Malcolm X, and he was denied 2 previous times.
Let me say this. For everybody out there that's just not listening to this show for the first time, for those of you who don't know, Malcolm X is one of my heroes.
Right.
My wife will tell you that. Malcolm, to me, man, is the epitome, in my opinion, of black manhood. You know, I mean, that's my dude. And if he was alive today, I would probably be one of his followers. But to finally get put out there in the Nebraska Hall of Fame, because he's from Nebraska. Yeah, he's from Nebraska, born in Nebraska. That's a good thing, I think. Well, it's too late. It's a little bit better late than never. Let's put it like that.
Well, yeah, like they said, the nominee has to be dead for at least 35 years to be selected, and he has been over that. Yeah. So that's why they say they have been trying to do this several times.
Oh yeah.
But they kept saying, I really don't. Like I said, I think I've mentioned this on the show before. Never really heard of Malcolm X. Went to predominantly black school, predominantly black colleges. Knew of him, but didn't know his story.
Yeah.
Saw the movie. Understand a little bit better. I don't think he was controversial at all.
Malcolm was not controversial. I mean, they said the very same thing about Dr. King.
Right.
So for anybody,
they had different ideologies.
They had the same purpose, but different ways of going to it.
Exactly.
And to show you how big of an impact that Malcolm X and Dr. King had, Stan Lee, the writer of Marvel Comics, did 2 characters based on those 2 philosophies. He did Professor X, who based his philosophy. I did tell you that. Who based his philosophy on Dr. King, and he did Magneto, who based his philosophy on Malcolm X.
Wow.
Okay. Now, again, like I said, Malcolm's one of my heroes. So is Dr. King. Both of them are. So for this to happen the way that it happened, it's a beautiful thing, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. His family has been fighting for this. So to finally get it, especially in his hometown, that is beautiful. Yeah,
because that's where it's from. Yeah.
A national landmark.
Yeah.
That is
represent, man. Represent Brother Malcolm.
Absolutely. Kudos for the powers to be to finally getting it.
Yeah.
Finally getting it. I mean, it's a long time overdue.
It's way overdue.
But they finally got it.
No doubt.
Next story.
What we got?
We just talked about this at lunch today, and I'm so in awe of this. A black college student sell his quote-unquote safety pouch, a tool to fight against police brutality in 400 Walmart locations. One student tapped into his live experiences as a black male in America and created a product that could determine for some motorists if they will return home. After the young man took his idea from brainstorming to market, he has a product now available at Walmart, Amazon, and other retail stores. You want to explain what the safety patch is?
Well, the safety patch is simple. The biggest problem that us as black men are having is whenever we get stopped by the police, we don't know if we're going to come home. And
especially when you're, I'm sorry, I mean, go
ahead.
Especially when you're young, you're driving, your mom and dad always tell you, be extremely careful in the world when you get police,
Right.
So I think that's probably, you think that was probably his premise?
That's exactly what his premise was, because you want these black men to come home.
Right.
But anyway, what the whole purpose behind this patch is to do this. Rod's in there. What's up, Rod? Anyway, let me go ahead and send a message. Anyway, that whole patch is supposed to deter cops from saying you're reaching for something. You can keep your hands on the wheel. All your information, your driver's license, your registration, your proof of insurance, everything goes in that patch, and that patch is hung out the window. So that way, all you have to do is answer their questions, and that's it. You ain't got to move.
Right.
Very smart.
Very smart. And you want to tell us that you thought about this years ago yourself?
I did. I thought about something like that.
Man, what happened?
You know what? Mine was like a little... well, see, here's a little bit different. See, mine was going to be stuck on the window. Like a little sticker or whatever, a little patch. You put everything inside that patch, so that way you ain't got to worry about it. Just roll your window back up or roll it down or whatever, but they can see your hands.
Wow.
That's the whole point. But this is even better because it's not a sticker on your window.
Excuse me. Well, I want to mention this story you brought to my attention as well, and it kind of relates to you. A black martial artist takes down white man who tries running him off road. A white Florida man was convicted for a racially motivated road rage incident that ended with a black martial artist putting him in a chokehold. The man, they was having road rage, came to a red light, and when they came to the red light, he pretty much got his ass handed to him. For lack of better words, that's the only way I can say it.
All I got to say,
because he came across the wrong one that day.
All I got to say is this right here. The same thing could have happened to me. I'm a martial artist. Been doing martial arts since I was knee high to a knee. Been teaching martial arts for a very long time. Yeah, that could have happened to me. And I would have done the same damn thing. I would have handed him his ass on a silver platter.
Hops out his car, slinging assaults at the man.
Tried to hit him, and
the man said, okay, here we go. Got out his car and commenced to Bruce Lee and all on that head. Just Bruce Lee. Just Bruce Lee.
In the words,
you don't know what people go through. You don't know what people know. You know, some of us don't have to pull guns or billy clubs and knives. We can get with them hands and them feet.
I tell the people all the time.
I meant to say feet.
And I tell people all the time, and I've even told you this before. If anybody comes to that door, I am the weapon. I ain't got to worry about it. So they're gonna have to get to their weapon first before too long, because after that, it's on the cracking. But in the words of Reggie from The Nutty Professor, he just karate-sized his ass. You know what I mean?
Well, they feel like he violated the young man's civil rights.
He did.
And he is looking to have a prison sentence of 10 years, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine up to $250,000. Kudos to that. I will clap.
Clap. Let me clap again, man. Let me clap
stop
again.
Assuming because they black and you white, you got major over somebody because you gonna get your ass on a good day.
Hey.
I'm not a component of violence, but hey, sometimes you gotta show them better. You can tell them.
You know I'm nonviolent. I always have been. But if I will get nasty if I have to. I mean anybody that knows me. Some people drive bad. Oh man, yeah. I know cause some people call me a speed demon, but if I'm just like not out there just maliciously cutting you off or anything like that, don't come out there talking that yang. She is a descendant of Mario Andretti, ladies and gentlemen.
I got places to go and places people to see, so
okay.
You know, as long as I'm not hitting nobody, run nobody over.
Do not listen to this
just
lady.
When you see me coming, in the words of the great Ludacris, move, get out the way, get out the way. I said, get out the way. Thank you. Moving on. Now this story is a little sad.
Okay.
Survivor of 1963 KKK bombing still awaits compensation from state. Yeah. A survivor from the 1963 Ku Klux Klan bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, is still awaiting compensation from the state for the injuries she sustained.
I heard about the story.
Yeah, her name is Sarah Collins Rudolph. She lost an eye and has pieces of glass remaining in her body.
Wasn't her sister in that bombing?
Right, from the KKK blast that left her sister and 3 other black girls dead. How long? 1963? Wait a minute. Let me get my calculator.
That was a long time ago, baby.
I got to know the exact 2022.
It was almost 60 years ago.
1963. 59
Yeah,
years.
it was almost 60 years ago.
But okay, God forgive me, Lord, I'm sorry. But some Asian man get hit in the head and he got compensated within 5 days.
You can actually...
How?
You could breathe on an Asian man too hard and they'll call and you'll get in trouble for it. Think about that for a second.
I don't think she's endured pain and suffered physically and emotionally. She lost her sister and friends in that bombing.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta give me something to drink. Let my wife take over for a little while. Hold on.
I just understand. Like I said, I have a sister and I have a brother and I have family members that are dear to me just like sisters. I couldn't even imagine something happened to them and I have to have been promised compensation all those years, and 59 years later I'm still awaiting for compensation. It's not, honestly, it's not about the money, it's the principle of the thing. So with the principle being said, why is it taking so long? Because this was like a national story that happened, and she was a little girl. She didn't have nothing to do with somebody else racial motivated incidents.
That Birmingham bombing happened a while back.
Yeah, 1963. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was like...
Spike Lee did a movie. It was called Four Little Girl, the Four Little Black Girl, something like that.
That's right. He did do a documentary on that. I forgot about that.
So I'm like, this been going on too long. I don't know who made this phrase up. I'm gonna go ahead and say, cut the check. Just cut. Like I said, it's not about the money. It's the principle of the thing. Cut this woman her check.
Yeah, I forgot Spike Lee did a thing on that. He did do a documentary about that. He sure did. He sure did. I forgot all about that.
They were just downstairs, in the church, like little girls do. Probably down there playing on the old piano. You never know. But here comes some old KKK member, bombed the whole church.
Here's the funny part. Now, you got people out here that are considering the organization Black Lives Matter a terrorist group. You got people out here considering the Nation of Islam a terrorist group. They consider the Black Panthers a terrorist group. When was the last time you heard about either one of those organizations bombing the church?
Right.
Full of children, no less.
Right. Never. But I do love what, the sentiment of it. They said the church itself and the surrounding Birmingham Civil Rights National Monument has received funds. And so Ms. Rudolph is saying, but not me. Why haven't she? If somebody can answer that, they probably can't. But 59 years?
She deserves that and then some. But she'll never get it, unfortunately.
Well, that's what they said, too. They said, technically, no bills have been introduced to compensate her. So
of course,
that's really
that's
sad.
Just another way of saying you ain't getting shit.
She's not going to get nothing. Which is sick. Honestly sick. Well, I'm going to read this story, and it goes hand in hand with another story that I have, and I'm going to leave the big boy to the end. Quote, says the quiet part out loud, end quote. Derek Chauvin asks court to reconsider verdict, says putting your knee on the back of a suspect does not create substantial risk of death.
Hold on, waiting for my sound effects to come up. There we go.
Attorneys for the state of Minnesota say Derek Chauvin's appeal for George Floyd's murder lacks merit as the former Minneapolis cop argues police officers cannot be convicted of assault because they are followed and allowed to use reasonable force, and putting a knee on someone's neck is not considered deadly.
What?
Mr. Chauvin, if you look at the tape, it does.
Because the man, he was telling people, I can't breathe.
That's why I say it does. I don't know what he saw, but it does.
He kept telling people he couldn't breathe.
So what? Okay, so let me ask Mr. Chauvin this: how did he die then? What made him die? His face pressed up on the concrete, or his face right there by the tailpipe of a car, and your knee on his windpipe? Which one you think it is?
Oh,
some people thinking, and they ascertain a different situation is so amazing to me.
They don't care. That's just it. They don't care. Again, that goes along the lines of I'm white and I say so. Think about that for a second.
And his lawyers asked to either reverse his conviction, give him a trial in a new location, or resentence him. For what? That's a waste of tax.
This is just my thinking. I don't think that the verdict will get reversed in any form or fashion.
No.
And the reason why it won't is because of the fact that it's clear that he had no remorse for George Floyd. Absolutely. After he kept crying to him and saying, "Hey, I can't breathe, man. Get off my neck."
He was saying that I cannot breathe.
Exactly. He was already in handcuffs. What could he do?
And I personally, I know it's hard for you to watch it, but
it's very hard for me to watch it.
I've seen it several times. To me, when he put his hands in his pocket, this is the police officer, I feel like he's put more pressure on his neck. I really do. Because some of them were talking about shut up, kept telling him to shut up and stuff like that. I think they were putting more pressure on him.
It was. That's why he died.
But hopefully this will not get overturned, because this was, to me, force with deadly force.
Yes,
deadly force. With and great bodily harm.
Unnecessary force, in my opinion.
Right. And so this goes with this story as well. I don't know if you guys have heard, but George Floyd family has been asked the Texas Parole Board to pardon his 2004 drug conviction, and they have submitted the paperwork to to Governor Greg Abbott. He's the governor of Texas.
My wife's been hanging around her husband too long.
Right, because some of the stuff he's doing now is just ridiculous. Side note, did y'all see him load up 3 or 4 buses and send them kids up there? Not kids, but those refugees up to Kamala Harris' address?
Man, he lied to him and told him he was going someplace else.
Somewhere to get a nice room.
Right.
I think something needs to be done about that. I really did. So that's a side note, but I really think he's just getting out of control. He's the king of the ship. You're just the governor of Texas, sir.
Well, that's Trump's homie. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know, which is sick. Really sick. But Texas board declined to grant George Floyd a posthumous pardon for a 2004 drug conviction, reversing its initial recommendation. This is kind of funny because, like I said, they had already submitted the paperwork to Ironside. I'm sorry, I keep calling this man Ironside. I apologize.
She's been hanging around me too long,
to
y'all.
Governor Greg Abbott, and his final decision was okay, but then they decided to withdraw. They haven't gave a reason why. The family attorney is still in awe because she understands why, and this is the reply that they wrote back to his family attorney. After a full and careful review of the application and other information filed with the application, a majority of the board decided not to recommend a full pardon and/or pardon for innocence. The man is dead, y'all. Damn. I mean, what can he? Why couldn't you give it to him?
They just don't want to.
Why?
There's a difference between being able to do something and not wanting to do something. They just flat don't want to.
That's ridiculous. Why? I mean, not like what can he do? He's dead.
He's dead now. They don't care. They don't care.
But see, my point is that I'm trying to make is, how can you say 2 years ago you was gonna do it, and now the deadline y'all decide to change your mind? What happened? And this kind of to me, this is my assessment of it. Probably go hand in hand with this Chauvin case, because they probably feel like, well, you know what? Maybe he right. Maybe he didn't die from the neck on his knee.
Right.
I mean the knee on his neck.
Right.
So it's like, how can y'all think one way and all of a sudden decide to change your mind? It's crazy.
It's messed up.
Well, let's just keep in prayer. Maybe somebody have a change of heart and realize, you know what? Let's get this man this part. There's nothing he can do now. He's already gone.
Yeah, he's already gone. What can he do? He's dead in the ground.
And I'm going to close out current events with this story, because we've spoken about this story several times. Quote unquote, I'm not that smart. Herschel Walker said he'll do his best in debate against Warnock. I think we talked about this on the last show, and everybody know I have a real, I don't know if it's an issue, problem, I don't know what I have, but I feel like a grown black American is being played as a puppet, and he just don't get it. Now he's talking about he's not that smart.
Forgive me for laughing.
And he okay, let me go ahead and read the story so y'all can get an understanding. Walker is running for Georgia State Senate against Warnock. Warnock is a prestigious minister in Georgia.
Right.
Herschel Walker is I'm not going to take his accolades away from him. He's a professional athlete, Heisman Trophy winner athlete, who I don't believe have any political background history.
He hasn't even been a mayor. He hasn't been a city councilman. He hasn't been, hell, a garbage man for that matter.
Anything political.
Right.
Warnock has walked with the big guys in political history. He's walked with MLK. Not MLK.
Warnock.
MLK. Yeah, Martin Luther King. He's walked with MLK. He's walked with John Lewis. He's even the preacher when MLK preached. So, and he's already been in the Senate for many, many years. Now, I don't know if Herschel is scared of the debate, but I'm sorry. He was in Savannah a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And
that was a big deal, too.
They had because this is where all the imports and exports are coming from Savannah.
Yeah.
And so he decided to have a press conference down there.
It's like a port. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. It's like a port there. It's a port city, right?
They asked him, so how do you feel about the debate coming up between you and Warnock? Mr. Walker said, and I quote, "I am getting out talking to people and talking to you." He was referring to the media. "I'm a country boy. I'm not that smart. He's a preacher. He is smart. Wears these nice suits. So he is going to show up and embarrass me at the debate October 14th, and I'm just waiting to show up, and I will do my best." End quote. Brother, if you feel like that, you need to sit your ass down somewhere. I'm sorry, that's the only way I can say it. We had this same conversation at lunch today, and I asked Reggie, if this was your brother, what would you tell your brother? If your brother sitting on a national platform making remarks like this, coming off looking like a bobblehead, what would you say to your brother?
I'm just going to be honest with you. I got two brothers. Well, three. I got three brothers. And if either one of my brothers was to come up to me and say, "Hey, man, this, that, and the third, I'm getting ready to run for this public office. What do you think?" I would tell them flat out, stay in your lane. That ain't for you. I mean, because we had this conversation, like you said earlier today. Mm-hmm. That's just like me coming to you and say, "Hey, babe, I'm going to get in the ring with Mike Tyson. What you think?" And what did you tell me?
How big is the purse? How big is the purse you're going to get? Now, if you want to eat mashed potatoes for the rest of your life, you go right ahead. I'm just gonna be straight. I'm not gonna. You are a grown man. You know his hands has been considered lethal weapons, and you think you can fight a lethal weapon?
That's just my wife's way of saying, "Honey, stay in your lane."
Don't even stay in your. Don't even get on the street. Don't even get in your car. Don't just stay at the house. Don't even go there. Well, I do want to ask this. He tried to get, a little defensive when one of the media asked him what has taken him so long to debate Warnock. And he came out and said he just needs to put his big boy pants on. He may not even show up for this one. He has made every excuse not to show up. I begged him until I chased him down. And then he decided he was going to show up October 14th. I didn't agree to do his debate because it wasn't fair. A fair debate is doing it in front of the voters. And I've agreed. I honestly feel it says it's going to be a national debate. I hope I'm not working that night, and I hope my eyes are not too tired that I can sit in front of the television and look at it from the beginning to the end. I'm not going to pass no judgment on this man.
That's must-see TV right there.
I was just going to say, there has to be something that I have to watch.
That's must-see TV.
In this lifetime. Because I have not seen anything that this man has said will make me want to vote for him. And what I don't understand is, how is he leading in the polls? What is everybody else seeing that I'm not seeing?
That right again. That man. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this real quick. Mm-hmm. I'm not taking anything from Herschel Walker, but again, that's just like I said before, that's just like me telling my wife I'm going to get in the ring with Mike Tyson. And she pretty much told me, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Don't get in the car.
That's not for you. Mm-mm. That's just her way of saying that's not for you.
Mm-mm.
So, and she's absolutely right. That ain't for me. Just like this debate ain't for Herschel Walker. It really ain't.
Well, let me read this. Walker thinks that he can close the gap. Said his talents go far beyond him as being a state player for the University of Georgia. So like I said, if this man feeling his spirit, his heart, his soul, his capacity to govern or represent in the Senate, I don't want to take that away from anybody who would want to take on a task that great. But shouldn't you say something on the lower level that we think that once you get to the big level that it'll be represented in a good way? Because like I said earlier, nothing he said is making me say, yes, he has my vote. Though I don't live in Georgia, no, I don't. But if I did, he hasn't said nothing that'll make me just want to run down there and vote for him either. Sorry. That's just how I feel. I'm sorry.
I agree with you. And if we lived in the state of Georgia, I wouldn't tell anybody who they should and shouldn't vote for. That's not what I do. Mm-hmm. But I would definitely not vote for him.
He did say the race is neck and neck, which is true. And what I have to do is continue to get out and meet people, which is what I'm doing here. I'm more than just a football player. What I'm doing now is moving forward by talking to the voters, because that's what really counts. And let them know that what I stand for. I was a great football player, but I would be a better senator because I represent the people. What people? Let's just be real. What people?
Here's the deal. I can tell everybody right now why Senator Warnock is neck and neck with Herschel Walker. This should be a landslide for him. Mm-hmm. It really should be. But the reason why that Senator Warnock is neck and neck with Herschel Walker is because of this right here. Black people, for the most part, are sick and tired of the Democrats using them as political pawns. He's run as a Democrat. And so the best way for black people to get back at the Democrats is not to vote and not give their support to the Democratic Party. That's why Warnock is trailing Herschel Walker. At one point in time, Herschel was ahead of him. Is he still ahead of him?
Well, right now it's 52-46, and Warnock has, but that's still too close.
Like I said, this should be a landslide.
And they just kept asking him different stories. Like, of course, he had his media down at the Port of Savannah, and one of the questions he asked him about, Biden proposed hiring thousands of IRS agents,
right,
and how he felt about this. This is his response. Well, one of the things I learned is this port is the second largest generator in the country of money, and yet they want to hire 87,000 IRS agents. Wait a minute. If the port is generating revenue, and if the second largest generator in the country is here, don't you think we ought to take maybe 4,000 of those agents and put them here in the port? That still leave them 83,000. I can count. Then take maybe 3,000 and put them in the school as police officers. 87,000
okay, stop.
Minus 4,000 leaves 83,000.
Stop, baby.
And then he said take 3. Where the other 80 going?
Baby, stop.
I'm done with this story. Let's move on.
That's why I told you. That's why I told you to stop.
I'm done.
That's why I told you.
I can count.
That's why. That's why I asked you to stop.
Oh my God.
So that's why I asked you to stop, babe. Please, no more.
I'm telling you, if I was Warnock, I would be. Oh my God.
Okay, let's get back to the splash screen.
I would be embarrassed.
That's the last story.
But that's the last of the current events.
Thank you.
More, like I said, every week there's something in the news make you say,
or damn.
What the damn.
Let's get back to the splash screen.
And on to the show's topic.
Oh man. Well, I was thinking about this right here, the show's topic, and I was thinking about who did we have back in the day that we could look at and say, that's a black man right there.
James Evans from Good Time.
We had a whole bunch of folks. That was a good one. That's a good one. That's a really, really good one. Okay? You laughing, but that's a good one. But anyway,
Bill Cosby from the Cosby Show.
That's another good one. But here's my whole deal. Let me hold on. I came up with quite a few, as a matter of fact. Some of the people that we were looking up to as a good representation of a black man. This dude right here, as soon as it pops up on the screen, was the man back in the day. You'll see him in a minute if it ain't popped up yet. It'll pop up in a minute. That was a man back in the day. That was the man. I mean, you know, he was so cool, calm, and collected, and the women loved him.
You gonna let my hand fall off?
Oh, come on. That's a classic line.
I'm trying to tell you.
That's a classic line. And this brother right here, my mother loved Billy D, by the way. And she also loved this man right here. He's going to pop up on the screen. She loved this man to death. This is her man right here and still is her man. Hold on. Wait till he pops up on the screen real quick. Richard Roundtree.
Oh, yeah.
Richard Roundtree.
Oh, yeah.
That was her man right there.
Who is the man?
This Whiskers Net brother man.
Shaft.
Right on.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody loves Shaft, man.
I love him to this day. He reminds me a lot of my brother-in-law.
Shaft, man, that was like one of the very first, what they call, quote-unquote, blaxploitation movies that I had ever seen. That was the very first one that I had ever seen. And when I saw Shaft, I thought that was the baddest brother on the planet. So, yeah, definitely. And then this brother pops up right here. You'll see him pop up in a minute. There's kind of a delay on the screen back on behind me. But you'll see him in a minute. Another big brother. Really big action hero. Football player football player turned actor. Jim Brown. He was the epitome. I think one of the first movies he played in was The Dirty Dozens. That's a classic movie. It had a little bit of everybody in it. He was the only spot in The Dirty Dozens, but still. It was a pretty good movie. And then he went on to play in a few blaxploitation movies. One of my favorites was Three the Hard Way, which starred him, this other guy I'm going to put up here, his partner in crime, Fred Williamson, the Hammer, another football player turned actor. And another guy I'm getting ready to pull up here later on down the line. But Fred Williamson, that guy right there, was another one that Mom used to love. He was the epitome of black manhood as well. Because when he came out with that movie Black Caesar, now my favorite Fred Williamson movie was Bucktown. I love that movie. That's my favorite Fred Williamson movie was Bucktown. So, but when he came, that was just dope right there. The movie was just dope. And then you go a little bit further down the line, and like I said, we had quite a few. And everybody remembers Superfly. The dude that played Priest in Superfly was Ron O'Neal. His picture will pop up in just a second. Another personification of black manhood. Even though he was on the other side of the law, he pretty much stuck it to the man for that one last score and disposed dirty cops of what they were. Which is why that movie is so cool. This brother right here is another one. He did the very same thing, except he did it through prostitution. They called him Goldie back in the day. Max Julian.
Okay.
From the movie The Mac, one of my favorite movies. Pretty good little movie. Now, you go a little bit further down the line, and you come up with this brother right here. Now, back in the 70s, karate movie, what they call karate movies, they were actually kung fu flicks, were really, really big. You didn't see very many black stars until this man popped up, Jim Kelly. He played in Enter the Dragon. Even though he was killed in that movie, he trained with Bruce Lee himself. And this brother right here was one of the only like a handful of brothers, with a few others I will mention just as honorable mentions, that really got into kung fu. Jim Kelly was more of a karate man, but this brother right here, Carl Scott, who still practices and teaches to this very day, he was actually into kung fu, like what I'm into. He was really big over there in China, did quite a few kung fu flicks over there. Him, Dennis Brown, and Willie the Bam Johnson were like really big kung fu people. They still are to this very day. Really big kung fu people during that time. Now this man right here, get ready to pop up. He's like one of the very first black kickboxing champions. Full contact karate champions. And it's getting ready to pop up in just a few seconds. Howard Jackson. One of the very first black karate champions. He's one of my idols. He personified black man. He did one movie. And I think this one of the Dolomite movies. I forget which one it was. Think it was the second with the human tornado. And this guy right here. Martial arts legend. Another one of the first black full contact karate champions. And one of my idols, the Black Dragon, Ron Van Cleef. Bruce Lee gave him that title, the Black Dragon. Told him that he personified what martial arts was about, and he also was an icon for black people, because one of Bruce Lee's first students was a black dude named Jesse Glover. But that's the Black Dragon, Ron Van Cleef, one of my idols. Created his own martial arts system called Chinese Goju. Personified black manhood. And so that was just in the 70s, in the part of the 80s. In the 90s, we didn't have very many. But we had this dude right here. And in my personal opinion, once you see his picture pop up, hold on, come on now. He put Marvel Comics on the map as far as movies were concerned with that movie Blade. Because before he did Blade, Marvel Comics movies sucked. Then he put Blade out, and that pretty much set the standard. Because Blade is actually a minor character in the comic books. He made Blade a household name, and he pretty much set the bar for how Marvel movies should look. So they pretty much copied his formula for all those new Marvel movies that are out now. He did it, and again, he personified black manhood. So this dude right here, everybody loves this dude right here. I ain't even got to introduce this. I ain't got to introduce him when he pops up, because you know who he is.
Time out.
No, you'll see. You'll see. Bam. See, there you go.
That walk along. He ain't gotta say a word.
There you go.
That walk along will do it.
Black manhood, right there. Black manhood in the 90s and in 2000 to this very day, still is
current.
Yeah. And speaking of martial artists, we have this guy right here, the new Black Dragon. You'll see him in a minute. Ron Van Cleef passed the mantle on to him.
What's his name?
Michael Jai White.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. He's the new Black Dragon. Ron Van Cleef passed the mantle on to him. So he's a new Black Dragon now. And he's personifies black manhood. And the guy that I think could have taken, that will get the torch passed to him from Denzel Washington is this young man right here. That's getting ready to pop up, because he's done quite a few roles, and he's doing more roles. Michael B. Jordan.
Oh.
In my opinion, he's going to take Denzel's place.
Well, God rest his soul. I thought it was going to.
I thought it was going to be Chadwick Boseman as well. Yeah, I thought it was too.
Because he's done some unbelievable work.
Yes, he does. Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Personal story.
Oh, yes.
Film. So yeah, I thought it was going to be him, but God rest his soul. Okay.
And those are the ones that we look up to.
Side note, you didn't put any athletes in here.
I wasn't going to.
Why?
Because athletes, even though they do personify manhood, a lot of them, they don't want to be role models. They just want to be athletes and get paid. So, I mean, that's why I didn't do Michael Jordan. That's why I didn't do Dr. J. That's why I didn't do Magic Johnson, Kareem, all them. I could have. Would have been easy.
Ali.
Oh, Muhammad Ali. I was going to put him up. Because he personified black manhood as well. But I put those guys, those guys. But then if I would have done that, the list would have been a whole lot longer. Okay. So anyway, now we go from that to what society promotes more than anything else. Now, once this guy pops up, you'll see what I'm talking about. So
this current day?
Yes. This is what they're promoting. As manhood. This is manhood.
No,
No, no,
no.
no, no. This is manhood to them. This is manhood to society right now. This is manhood. Oh, it gets better. It gets better. It definitely gets better. That's what they're promoting is manhood nowadays. So, and this dude right here is the first dude on the planet to ever get in trouble for whooping his own ass. Now, see, the reason why I put him up here is because he builds himself as the gay Tupac,
Right.
who also personified black manhood.
True.
But they would call somebody like Tupac toxic, or toxic masculinity.
Toxic, yeah.
But it's okay to be. It's not okay to have toxic masculinity, but you can go to the Oscars and all kinds of events and stuff like that in a full-length gown and be a black man. And they promote that kind of thing. They want you to see that shit. And they keep on putting cameras on people like this right here. No, wait. It gets better.
Okay.
It gets better. It gets better.
Now.
It gets better. Hold on. It gets better. So when you got people like that, and they are constantly pushing people to like this, you know, and you see shit like this on a damn stage, and they keep on saying, and they keep promoting this and saying this is the idea of a black man, I got a problem with that. I have a big problem with that.
Okay.
But wait a minute.
There's more.
There is definitely more. I forgot to put it up there. I forgot to put it up there. I'm just gonna go ahead and say who it was. There's a very popular television show called P-Valley. I have tried my best to watch this show. I tried, people, because my wife likes this show. And I'm trying to, you know, I don't want to just hog the TV and have her watch stuff like House of Dragons. She don't want to watch that shit. I know she don't. So I tried. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and bite the bullet and get into what my wife wants. Get into what my wife likes. Just one show. And I tried to watch P-Valley, ladies and gentlemen. I really did. I tried my best to watch that TV show. I could not get past the gay sex scenes. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I can't.
That show series
I can't.
had relatable incidents that goes on in this world today.
I can't get past the gay sex.
People can't help who they love. That's the culture that we're in now. But you must admit, because you even said on one episode, I think when Krishan was getting beat up by the white boy, what would you have done if that was your sister? You got to get past that part of it and just look at the premise of the show. It's a good show.
I'm sorry, baby.
It's a good show, but you can't help who Uncle Clifford loves, dates, be romantic with. But here they do. I'm gonna speak devil's advocate here. They have a hardcore rap in there, and he loves the hell out of Uncle Clifford. So what's up with that?
That's where I'm getting at right there.
Okay, I'm listening.
You have this masculine man, and they was talking about that at work one day. To have a masculine man and
What's
oh Lord.
Take your time. Take your time.
He tells this effeminate black man, I want to feel you inside me.
He sure did. And you don't think that's possible? Because it is possible. You know they're right.
I never said it wasn't possible.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Bruh. That's why I say that.
And you think that's an attack on black manhood? Because that's on a national platform like that?
Definitely.
But then they have Diamond in there, who's the bodyguard. He's the protector. Here you are putting his life on the line trying to save Krishan from getting beat up by the white boy. So what is Diamond?
He's a black man. Protecting a black woman.
So does he execute black manhood?
Exactly. Because he's a black man protecting the black woman, which is what he's supposed to do.
Okay. But you don't think Uncle Clifford is it because he's sleeping with another man? Uncle Clifford is the owner of the Pink.
Uncle Clifford,
and he's giving black women, even though they are strippers, he's giving them opportunity to go to school, make money, make a living, where they felt like they couldn't make that same amount of money on a 9 to 5.
Granted that. I have no problem with that. But
they're not on welfare. They're taking care of their children on their own.
Okay, I get that part. One, the most popular character on this show is Uncle Clifford.
Correct.
Two, they focus a whole lot on Uncle Clifford's sex life.
That's a part of his life, period.
No.
So you don't think they just show the other aspect? You just want to show him at the Pink living? You don't want to show what he do when he get home? He also take care of his grandmother.
I get that part. I ain't got no problem with that. But my point is this right here. They keep promoting that type of thing in the black community. One of the most popular shows on one of the most popular black shows on television, and they focus on the homosexuality of it.
I think
that's the attack on black manhood I'm talking about. I could care less about what that is.
I know. I'm just making, light of it, but
right.
You do realize this is the culture.
I understand
they
that.
have to.
I get that part. But here's the thing.
They have to read out to the masses. And as you've spoken on this before, shout out to our co-host,
who? Marvin?
Marvin. Sorry, Marvin. I'm sorry. I had a brain freeze. You both has realized LBQJQT is a big part of this culture we live in. Yeah. And they have to ascertain them. No, and that's what Uncle Clifford is. He is reaching out to the masses in that lane.
And I've said this on several occasions. Who you having sex with ain't got nothing to do with nobody on this planet.
And they not doing it. They just reach out to who they are. And that's just part of who they are.
I reiterate. Who you having sex with has nothing to do with nobody on this planet.
Okay, devil's advocate here. Is it buffoonish for Nicki Minaj be walking around with pink hair, big booties, big titties, looking like a animated cartoon doll? But she's also made millions from it too. So do we knock her for having this quote unquote gimmick to get her music out there?
Okay, that's somebody that's sexually exploiting themselves because they don't really have that much talent. That's different.
Oh my God.
That's a whole different thing right there. Okay, but telling somebody who you sleeping with, I don't care.
They're not doing it. They just
they are.
They just showing what he does. That he has a lover in his life that he really, really care about, and he's having a hard time putting out there. For a long time he was under what do you call it? Not down low, but he never wanted anybody to know that they was together. But then the hardcore rapper put his career on the line because he wanted people to know he is in love with Uncle Clifford. So I don't think that has nothing to do with manhood. I just think that just shows another aspect of Uncle Clifford's life.
That has everything to do with manhood because they keep promoting they keep on trying to effeminize a black man. And the reason why they're trying to do that shit is because once you effeminize a black man, they're not a threat anymore. That's my whole point. I could care less about that bullshit right there. Who you sleep with is your business. I don't care. Because
you really think that's promoting black manhood?
No, it's not promoting black manhood. It's not promoting black manhood at all. It's doing the exact opposite.
It's okay, right? It's attacking black manhood.
That's exactly what it's doing. It's attacking black manhood. That's exactly what that's doing because they keep promoting that bullshit.
You don't think it's attacking woman's manhood, a womanhood too? Because
that's another show.
We can be more than strippers.
That's another show.
So it's
that's
like,
a whole
okay,
other show.
let's do this.
That's another reason why I don't like that show.
But that's where we live in today. But that's where we live in today. People think they go out there, shake their booty, y'all throw a bunch of ones on the stage, they come home with $1,000, $200,000 a night.
So,
and it takes them 2 or 3 weeks to make $1,000, $200,000 a night on a 9 to 5.
If you think that's the only way that you can make money,
that big money like that.
I'm not knocking anybody's hustle as long as it's legal, and that is legal.
It is.
I agree with you on that. But at what point do you draw the line?
As long as my bills getting paid and my children are eating, I don't think there is a line to draw. I'm just speaking from trying to look at it from both sides.
Okay, but still,
I personally, unless I'm just down and out, I don't think I will go there. There has to be something to keep your moral values in compass that you can do. But if that's what you want to do,
and I'm not knocking that.
I'm not going to judge nobody.
And I'm not knocking that. I mean, however you make your money, that's how you make your money. More power to you, sister. As long as it's legal. As long as you ain't doing something strange for a little piece of change, we good.
Well, let me insert something here. When was that? Again, people have a problem with him, but Spike Lee made a movie called Get on the Bus.
Yeah.
And it was about the Black Million Man March.
Right.
And that march was produced to do what? To show black men coming together, trying to get back in the households with their children, showing male bonding,
right?
Men becoming providers and protectors of their households, showing that black men can come together and get something done.
Right.
What happened? How do we go from the Million Man March to Billy Porter?
That's the question I'm trying to answer. And the reason why is because movies like Get on the Bus, which for some people thought it was a flop. Personally, I liked the movie.
I did too.
You know, because it showed
another aspect.
It showed a whole other aspect of black men getting together and being black men. That was a personification of black manhood. That's what black manhood is all about.
Right. That's why I'm asking you, how do we get from there to Lil Nas X? Is that something with the home?
Society.
You don't think it has nothing to do with the home?
Somewhat, because more likely than not, because some of it has to do with the home. A lot of it does, because if you think about that for a second, a lot of these people like Lil Nas X, they're raised by women.
Right.
Children copy what they see.
Right. Emulate.
Yeah, that's how they learn. They emulate everything that they see.
Right.
And say.
Some do.
Yeah, most of just say most of it.
Yeah.
Not all of them. There are exceptions to every rule.
Right.
So we went from that. We went from Billy D. Williams to Billy Porter. This is all by design, because they looked at it like, okay, these black men, this black manhood, we're gonna call this toxic masculinity now. So that way it'll be a bad thing. And Lil Nas X switch around in a mini skirt on the stage, we're gonna promote that. Billy Porter walking around the Oscars in a full-length gown, we're gonna promote that. We're gonna effeminize the black man, so that way they'll be less of a threat. And that's the problem. That's been going on for centuries. This ain't nothing new. So, the reason why they do it is because, like I said, the best way to conquer people is to take out the warrior class. Once you effeminize the warrior class, they're not a threat anymore. So that's what's going on.
Okay.
So that's why they're doing it. They tried killing them. Well, that's not working. We get a bad mark on that.
Putting them in jail.
Try putting them in jail. That makes it even worse, because now you treat them like animals. They're gonna act like animals.
And then when they get out of jail, can't get a job because they got a feeling on their record.
There they go. So they go right back to jail. Because they're doing what they're doing what they can do, so they can make their money, or whatever.
Or send them to war. They don't come home from the war.
Yep, send them to war. They tried everything. So now the next best thing is to effeminize the black man. Now, this is why I keep telling people to read that book, The Compensatory Counter-Racist Code. There are 9 areas of known human activity that white supremacy control. I'm going to see if I can get them all. Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Okay? How many sexual orientations are there out there right now?
God said too, but the world says
Okay, first it was
half the alphabet.
First it was heterosexual, and that was it. That's when you like the opposite sex. Then it was homosexual. That means you like people. That means you like to see people of the same sex. Now you got pedosexual, you got sapiosexual, you got whatever, bisexual, transsexual, all these different sexual orientations, metrosexual, all that bullshit. You got too many different sexual orientations, and that's out there to confuse people, because people are confused.
But a lot of people do relate though. Are they confused or do they relate?
Both. It's both. They're confused, but they also relate because they simply doing whatever the hell they want to do. Now you're telling me, you're a religious person. You're telling me that it's okay for a man to be with a man and then turn around and be with a woman?
Hell no. I'm not. No.
I want somebody to show me in the Bible where it said that's cool.
It don't. Sodom and Gomorrah. It's not.
Exactly my point.
It's not cool. But people take their own flip on it and put it to their own understanding where it don't look so bad. God, they use that scenario when I say, well, what about Sodom and Gomorrah? But God said love everybody.
Okay.
See how they flipped it back on me?
Yep.
Now what's my retort back to them? Because that's true. God said loves everybody. Even though Sodom and Gomorrah tell us, no, that's not true. God made woman and man. What is it? God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. But he told us to love everybody.
Right. And I agree with you on that point. And I also say this. If anybody just takes the Bible and turns it around to say whatever the hell they want to say.
And that's what they do on a regular.
Oh yeah, they do it on a regular basis. They take this. They take that very same book that's been lasting for centuries on end.
The beginning of time.
Yep. And they flip the words all the way around to suit their needs.
Yep.
So.
Well, I know, like I said, I can't relate. Like I said, I'm not a black man,
right? But
I do understand your plight because it has become so
prevalent.
Now I know it started out. I know it was the running joke. The very first person was it Flip Wilson or somebody who dressed the first person who dressed up as a woman, Geraldine.
Yeah, Flip Wilson.
And then after him, it was.
Actually, before him was a white man named Milton Berle.
No, we're talking about the black man.
Yeah, we're talking about black men. Yeah, one of the first black men to dress up as a woman was Flip Wilson. Yes.
And then for Flip Wilson, I think that's when somebody else did it. Then we had the Wanda with Jamie Foxx. Then we had Martin Lawrence. Shanae, Big Mama. Now the biggest one of them all is Madea, Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, all of them was playing characters that they grew up with.
Right.
I don't think that's taken away from their black manhood.
Personally, it's like you said, they're playing characters.
Correct. And they're getting paid for it.
They're not living as women.
We don't know that. Because I've heard some things.
Well, maybe you have, but I'm just saying, they're playing characters.
Never know.
They're playing characters. Do you see Tyler Perry dress up as Madea all the time?
You mean his personal life?
I mean, just like when he's doing interviews and stuff like that. Does he dress up as Madea all the time?
He be dressed like a man, but then he just somehow just bust that voice out. Which I know, like I said, I know it's all comedic. I understand that.
But the point is, it's a character he's playing.
Right.
Now, I'm
but
not
how you know Billy Porter not just dressing up?
That's
just
not
no
character.
Up.
He's gay, plain and simple. I'm not worried about that. But still, but that's not a character he's doing. When he dresses up in the full length gown, he's not acting.
That's just what he want to do. I don't think
again, they're promoting the feminization of black men. That's my whole point. What he does is his business. I could care less about that. That's what they're focusing on.
They're focusing on.
Right. That's my whole point. I could care less about what he does behind closed doors. That's his business.
That's not closed doors. He bring it to the masses.
And now that's what I'm talking about. They keep promoting that. And they keep promoting that. They keep promoting that. And now, see, like I said, one of my favorite people is James Baldwin. I love his writing.
Absolutely. But
James Baldwin was gay.
Right.
But he kept his homosexuality to himself.
Because he knew he was, like you said about Little Richard, he knew he probably wouldn't be profound as he is, and his name would be a legacy like it is now if they knew.
But that's just it. People knew he was gay.
While he was living or when he died.
When he was living, the people knew. People knew. They didn't care.
I guess because he didn't broadcast it.
Exactly. He didn't say, I'm gay. You know, don't nobody care. That's your business. It's the same deal with Bayard Rustin. He was gay. Didn't nobody care. Langston Hughes, he was gay.
I heard Arthur Ashe was too.
He probably was, but nobody cared.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. People knew, they just didn't care. Africa Bambaataa, one of the founders of hip hop, gay. Don't nobody care.
Wow, I never heard that.
Yeah, he was gay. Don't nobody care. And the people knew, they didn't care.
Because they just don't, what's the word they say? They don't live out loud with it.
Right, exactly.
So you saying they shouldn't live out loud with it?
If somebody sees you out in public with your boyfriend or husband, what the hell ever, okay, that's cool.
I mean, him, full face makeup, beautiful gown on, should he not live out loud like that? If that's what he wanted to put on that day, he shouldn't do it?
I could care less. Again, you're missing my whole point. I could care less about what the fuck he does.
I'm not saying, but I'm talking about by him dressing up with makeup, wearing a gown, that's taken away from his manhood?
Definitely. He's not a man anymore.
Because of an outfit?
That's not an outfit.
Yeah, that's an outfit. Just because he have on a dress don't mean that is characterizing who he is as a man.
He's not a man.
Because he wears a dress. Because he wears a dress.
That's not masculine.
Okay, so what about the other? What's that country? What's that country where they wear kilts? Isn't that a skirt? And they used to be severe warriors.
Okay,
like all that stuff you be looking at on TV.
First off, that's white people. That's number one. Number two, that's part
it's
of their
black men I've seen in kilts.
Let me finish, please.
Go
number
ahead.
two, that's their culture. Mm-hmm. That's their culture. That ain't got shit to do with culture. Nothing.
It could be.
Nothing at all.
It could be.
How? Explain that to me and I'll shut up. Explain it to me and make... Hold on. Explain it to me, make it make sense. I'll stop this broadcast right now.
Who said that a dress was made just for a woman? Where is that written down at? Hello? Did I lose you?
When was the last time you saw a masculine man wearing a dress? A dress, not a kilt. I'm not talking about a kilt. When's the last time you saw a masculine man wearing a dress?
All the time.
When?
You mean like playing a character?
No.
Or just like on a day-to-day basis?
Just in general. A masculine man. Not an effeminate man. That's an effeminate man.
Why gotta be a masculine? Why just can't be a man?
No. That's not what I'm saying. And a masculine man, a masculine man. A masculine man, like The Rock.
Okay.
Masculine. When's the last time you saw a masculine man wearing a dress?
Well, let's flip that strip. Why do men wear double earrings?
That's been going on since the beginning of time. You got African tribal men that are masculine men that wear earrings. That's nothing new. Men wearing earrings is nothing new.
Double or just one?
Double. It's nothing new. Go through our history.
But in earring just for women? Is that what they say?
Nope. They're not. That's a known fact. So, you're missing with that one.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think dresses are just for women.
Well, they are.
Just like when they made a big deal when they make the suit,
okay,
the pantsuit for like when they made a big deal when she was running for president. Hillary Clinton wore pantsuits all the time, just like Miss what's her name? The vice president, Kamala.
Okay,
they tried to make a big deal. They said no, wait a minute, let me see this. Because they wear a pantsuit, they're masculine.
No, that's not. No,
see, that's what they say though.
No.
She got too much masculine tendency. She be wearing those pantsuits.
No.
You've heard that. I've heard it.
No.
So what's the difference?
The difference is this right here. See, now according to what, according to their very book that people hold near and dear to their heart, women are not supposed to wear garments of a man. Am I right or wrong?
That's what they say.
No.
Oh, that's what the Bible says. Yeah.
That's what the Bible says, right? But that's what we're talking about. What the Bible says here. So women are not supposed to wear pants. So in other words, women are not supposed to wear pantaloons or whatever. Pants or whatever. Now, as far as dresses being for a woman, it depends on what you mean by a dress. Now, you can consider. Okay, I'll give you an example. My Kung Fu instructor, he used to wear not necessarily a gown, but it was like a coat, and it was open at the bottom, and looked kind of like a dress, but it wasn't a dress. And he used to teach me Kung Fu in this. So, no, that's not. So when you said a dress is just for a woman, it depends on what you mean by a dress. Now, are there a full-length ball gown? Hell no.
Okay, ancient gods, what they used to wear, weren't those considered robes? Did robes have pants to it? No, it looked like a dress.
That's not a dress though.
That's just a robe.
It's a robe. And that's pretty much what he wore, was a robe. That ain't no damn robe he got on. So you're missing with that one. You want to try again?
I just feel like...
See, and you're kind of missing my point too. You really are. They are promoting the effeminization of black men.
Of course, that's all that's in the news right now.
Exactly.
Name someone that's hot, that's garnished with so much attention, winning awards right now.
I can think of anybody.
Feminine men.
Well, yeah. Feminine men. Exactly. Effeminate black men, more specifically.
If a black man winning, but it'll be somebody that's feminine.
An effeminate
what they
black
consider
man.
feminine, yeah.
Yeah, an effeminate black man. An effeminate black man. Somebody dressed up in a 3-piece suit like Billy D over here. They don't look at them. They don't promote them. Because he's masculine. Case my idol, Morris Day, who's getting ready to retire, by the way. Coolest brother on the planet. Always wearing a 3-piece suit with Stacey Adams. Clean.
Yeah.
That's a man right there.
Because what he got on?
No. Because he exudes masculinity.
That's masculine.
This ain't got nothing to do with what he has on. Because you can wear anything and be masculine.
Oh, I just been saying you want anything and be masculine.
But that's not my point. My point is they're promoting effemininity. I mean, when Martin Lawrence dresses up as Sinead, is he feminine? No, he's playing a character.
A character, right?
That's just a character. He's not gay. That just means he's playing a character, a female character. That's it. That's all he's doing.
So another aspect of it. Generally, makeup is supposed to be for women. I've seen so many brothers walk around here with full beards, face beat than mine. What is that?
A brother wearing makeup? I mean, I never wear it, but that's just me.
And you don't think that's attacking a manhood? Or is he just oppressing himself through makeup?
It depends on his reasons for wearing the makeup.
He like makeup.
Okay, that's his business. You got people out there that, actors wear makeup, so...
No, come on, regular people like me and you, regular people walking the street, they have a full face of makeup.
Well, it depends on how he's got the makeup on.
Manhood, to me, my definition of manhood is a little different. I thought manhood to me is how you take care of your family, how you exude that strong, because God put men on this earth to be the stronger sex, and to me, stronger means strength beyond will. So you'll step in when there's a conflict. I don't want you to run to a conflict and end up dead, but when you see a situation happening, just don't stand by, check out your cell phone and start recording.
Yeah. At
least walk up to be like, hey, is there anything I can do to get this settled? At least sometimes it might end up bad. I don't want nobody to end up dead, but you see so many men, especially like when two women start fighting, they just stand around looking.
And that's stupid.
And I remember when I was growing up, when things like that happened, men would jump and say, hey, y'all cut that out. Y'all cut that out. Yeah,
that's what it should be.
Another thing is like you would see men go to single mothers who the man is not in the home, and they will go and pick up her son and take him to go get a haircut and show him how to tie a tie.
I've been there, done that.
And keep his clothes ironed and pressed and up over their butts with a belt and iron them, make them wrinkle free and put deep creases in them. And my dad always said, if a man's shoes are dirty, leave him alone, because that means he don't have a clean body or spirit. And my dad also said, if a man don't even have a car, don't live with him, because how he gonna take you somewhere he don't have nowhere to go? Stuff like that.
Right.
Now my dad and some of my uncles exude manhood to me, not because who they are or because of what I've seen them do. I've seen them be protectors. I've seen them be providers. I've seen them step into a situation and come together and make sure it's taken care of. No matter who did what, who put in this much, or who said what, who said this. They just did it, because a lot of that now it's lacking in the home, because yes, we do have a lot of women who are head of households right now.
And they're raising these boys.
And they're raising men. And like you said, they emulate what they see.
Yep.
But then I have a problem when I be seeing, girl, yes. What woman you see talk like that?
None.
So where does that come from?
Now they're getting it. Now you're getting what I'm saying.
That was my definition of what they wear. I don't care what they wear. But their actions, that's what I speak hard.
Now you're getting what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. I could care less about what he's wearing.
Exactly.
I could care less about that. But it's the way it's his actions.
It's not him, it's society.
It's his actions.
It's society promoting him like that.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
Why the attack on black manhood? That's my whole point. You see, now you're getting it. Now we're on the same page.
Yeah. I just feel like I don't think he should be held accountable for what societies do, though.
Oh no, I'm not holding him accountable.
Well, in a way,
well, I take that back. I am to a T. I take that back. I take that back. Yeah, I take that back. Yeah,
just like RuPaul. I've seen RuPaul dressed as a man, and I've seen RuPaul dressed as a woman.
But he still exudes feminine energy, no matter what he's wearing.
That's true. That's true. But then, like you said, it could all be a gimmick so they can make them dollars.
No,
some people do stuff just to 15 minutes of fame. Some people feel like that's the only way they can. That's their passion. That's the way they can have a career. Well, it's just different aspects of it.
Think of it is, RuPaul is married to a man, so you know that's what you just said just went the water. So. So it's not an act to him. If you are married to another man, if you're a man married to another man,
I mean, like his show Drag Race. Drag Race is the way.
That's just how he makes money.
That's how he makes
money. Him dressing up as a woman is how he makes money.
But he probably even wear a dress at home.
He probably doesn't. He probably doesn't. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that he does or doesn't. I could care less if he does or if he does. That if he doesn't, that's not my business.
Right.
But my point is, society as a whole, white society as a whole, is promoting the effeminization of black men.
So what is it called when white men do it?
Oh, white men have always done that. That's part of their culture. That's part of their culture. That's part of their culture.
And they're not garnish any aesthetics like black men are getting?
No, they're not.
And why do you think that is?
Because they're not trying. Because white men are not trying to conquer white men.
It's not a surprise to them.
It's not a surprise.
It's been their culture forever.
Exactly. That's number one. It's not a surprise to number one. Number two, that they're not trying to conquer another group of people. They're not trying to conquer. White men ain't trying to conquer white men. They're trying to stay on top. And the best way for them to stay on top is to keep us at the bottom. So that's why they keep on promoting the effeminization of black men.
But just like I said last week about the N-word, why don't we just take the sting out of that and they should be able to wear whatever they want and still say manhood?
That's easier said than done. That's easier said than done. Because again, if you have a 3-year-old son, if you have a 3-year-old boy sitting up here watching Lil Nas X singing Old Town Road in a damn miniskirt and a pink hat,
right?
The first thing he's gonna start doing is going into the closet and saying, "I want a miniskirt and a pink hat.
True.
I want to be like Lil Nas X."
But then that's you as a father should step in and say what?
Me as a father said, "No, that's not the business, bro."
Why not?
Because no.
Lil Nas X is he on TV, Daddy?
I don't care.
So you will neglect your child.
That's not neglect.
Pretty much, you tell him what he can and cannot do at 3 years old.
That's being a parent.
I agree. But I think a lot of us need to do that because, like, I think we did a show on this when they were talking about the kitchen.
Yeah.
When they were saying, should you buy your son a kitchen set? And someone were like, yeah, so he can know how to cook it. And some people were like, oh, hell no. And I think you said you wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I sure wouldn't.
But I was just like, I've seen, well, I haven't there personally, but I've seen on shows and heard other people talk about young men carrying dolls. They made men, like when Cabbage Patch came out, they had a boy Cabbage Patch doll.
Yeah, they did.
So should that young man not carry a boy Cabbage Patch? It's a doll. Now, if they carry around a Barbie,
technically, well, see, here's the thing about men and dolls, and that's why. See, and that's where there's kind of like a fine, the gray area. Mm-hmm. What is an action figure?
A doll. That's what I was just going to say.
Exactly.
I was just going to say that next after you made your point. Y'all collect action figures on a daily.
Exactly. Action figures.
So what's the difference?
Well, see,
action figure, doll, tomato.
It's the same thing. It's the same damn thing. I agree with you on that point. That is a really good point. See, but G.I. Joe is not a Barbie.
It's a doll.
It's still a doll. I agree with you on that point. I'm not saying that it is not. I'm not saying that it is not. Okay? Action figures have been around for a very long time.
Right. It has.
One of the first male action figures was G.I. Joe. Okay? So, but anyway, there really is no difference between a girl carrying a Barbie and a boy carrying around a G.I. Joe. Because I had a Stretch Armstrong growing up until my sister poked holes in it. But anyway, still, I had a Stretch Armstrong.
So what do you think as a black man? Because I can contest he is a black man through and through. What do you think in your almost 51 years on this earth?
Yeah.
Should there be accountability taken, or what?
Well, I've always said this. There's accountability on both sides of the fence. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's accountability on these men that are not teaching these young men how to be men.
So the older generation should be held responsible?
To a certain degree, yes. Because because to be honest with you, this generation that's out here right now. Let me just say this real quick. I was watching this TikTok video. Mm-hmm. It was these two young black men, and they were talking, and all of a sudden they started busting slobs. And then I'm like looking at that, and they said, well, we all, we all of us do it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like looking at this and say, no, bro, all of us don't do that. Cause and then and everybody just, people in our age group and older kept on saying, no, that's not the business, young blood. Mm-hmm. Because I ain't never kissed my friends. I know I haven't. Mm-hmm. Never. So you're missing with that one. Mm-hmm. See, it's becoming the normal now. Mm-hmm. And that's sad, because we as black men have not been raising these young men to be men.
So if you was in their presence when they did that, would you have said something?
I would have told them flat out, no, I ain't never bust a slob on my homie like that, ever. I never will, and I pretty much guarantee it. If I did try, I'd probably get knocked the fuck out.
Would you try to justify or manipulate the situation, let them know, be a man, be a black man, you don't kiss another man in the mouth? Exactly.
That's exactly what I would do. I wouldn't really.
But then they flip the script and you're like, Jesus tells us to love everybody.
Well, let them try to flip that script. And I said, show me the Bible where it said Jesus said it's okay to kiss another man in the mouth.
Everybody's everybody. He didn't say he or she.
That is not what that's not what I asked him. I said, show me in the Bible where it says it's okay for a man to kiss another man in the mouth.
Who you think everybody is?
I don't care who everybody is. That's not what I asked you. I asked you, show me in the Bible where it says it's okay for a man to kiss another man.
That's true.
Show it to me, and I'll shut up.
Like I said, I don't try to judge no one. If that's who you are, that's who you are. But I do agree with you in the culture that we live in now. Just like I was reading an article today. I remember we were growing up. We went outside. We played. We helped older people. We never disrespected our elder. We helped them. If we use a bad word, we would get a bar of soap stuck in our mouths. Mm-hmm. You didn't hear cuss words on TV. You didn't see women and men on TV. You didn't even see nobody smoke a cigarette on TV.
Sure didn't.
I remember the first time when they showed Desi Arnett smoking on I Love Lou, they made a big deal about it.
They made a real big deal out of it.
But they showed them sleeping in separate beds.
Yep.
So, it's like, but they're husband and wife. So,
yeah.
I know you're not supposed to live your life through TV because, like you said, it's all entertainment.
Right.
But we as people, we need to get back, stop letting the government and the society run our households.
I can tell you right now, this little tool right here is the bane of our existence right here.
And is it a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. Because you think about this. When we were at,
he's holding up his cell phone, y'all.
When we were at my birthday, at our birthday party. What do we see the young ones doing?
Oh, they fine. That's why I told them, put the phone on. We finna play some Uno. You right. And I said, put it down. We're playing Uno. And she eventually put it down. But you're right. I said, you can't play Uno and be on your phone at the same time, sir, ma'am. But yeah, you're right. That's what they do. It's just like, y'all, there's a bunch of adults that do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and people,
I feel like they have what is it, FOMO? A fear of missing out.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's exactly it. See, that's why, and you can test this yourself. That's why when I get home, put my phone down, I don't pick it up. I ain't got no reason to pick it up. I'm at home now. The person that needs to call me is right in front of me. She ain't got to call me, so I put my phone down. And the ringer is on, so if it does ring, I will hear it, and she'll hear it as well. Don't nobody call me. I put my phone down. I don't think about it no more. You do the same thing, because I'm home. Only person you need to worry about is your sister. And she'll call you, pick up the phone, whatever.
Or my brother text you.
Or your brother text you, whatever. That's it.
Or call you.
Yeah. We put the phones down.
Well, some people just don't. They got to be in the know 24/7.
There is nothing I need to know all the damn time. There's nothing I need to know all the damn time.
They got to be up on the latest. The new, I don't know. But like I said, the way we was raised and the way these children were raised, I do feel like there is this is where we are because of that.
I agree with you on that.
We don't have no more big mamas.
And that's the problem.
Big mama 30, like the comedian said, Big Mama 35 years old, going to the club with the grandbaby.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Like I said, if that's what you want to do, you want to club with your grandkids, that's on you. But how they gonna respect you? You doing the same thing they doing in the club?
See, and that goes along the lines with what the subject, what the show's subject is. We got these women out here that are not really raising these young boys out here. They're not really raising.
They don't know how. Cause the woman can. I will stand on this.
I've
gone back and forth with my girlfriends.
I know exactly
on
what
this.
you're going.
A woman cannot raise a man.
Thank you.
There are some strong black women in this world,
but they can't teach a boy how to be a man.
But they cannot teach a boy how to be a man.
No, they can't. I've always said that. I have had the very same argument with men and women. I've had the same argument with both. Because a woman can't teach a boy how to be a man. She don't know the first thing about how to be a man. The first thing. Now the only thing she can do is raise him to adulthood. That's it. That's not teaching him how to be a man.
She gonna need some male guidance along the way.
Exactly. He's definitely gonna need some male guidance along the way. Cause there's certain rules you gotta teach your boy.
No, yeah. I can't teach you how to tie. I mean, I know how, but I can't teach you. I can't teach you when you start having feelings and hormones.
There are rules to this game, man. There are rules, because no disrespect to women, but women are ruled by their emotions. Men, for the most part, most of us, are ruled by our logic.
Right.
Most of us, not all.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing, and that's the main lesson. And that's the main lesson that a boy, that a boy learns from a man. Don't let your emotions get in the way of your decisions.
But what I would say is that I don't think a man should tell a young boy not to cry, though.
Oh, I agree with you on that one, because sometimes that's the only way you can get it out. Because if a man don't cry, then he's gonna lose his mind. Because all that emotions is gonna build up
and pop on somebody.
Thank you. It's gonna come out. It's gonna pop out in the wrong way.
I like I said, I know for a while you thought I wasn't getting it. Like I said, I think we came to the same conclusion. We just came down two different streets.
Right.
I look at the shows, like you said, I look at P-Valley. I enjoy looking at it, just like I enjoy looking at other shows.
Right.
But you're right, a lot of it is mainstream right now. I don't know if that's what society, like I said, they're trying to cater to that demographic.
Right.
Like they're trying to cater to all the different demographics. No disrespect toward Nicki Minaj. None of her little barbs gonna come for me. Don't text, no emails. I was just making a point, because I doubt when she go home, she still act that way. But like you said, if that's a way for her to get her music out into the masses, and that's, like you said, Little Richard pretty much did the same thing.
Yeah, he did the same thing. He did the very same thing.
Sometimes you have to do things to get things done.
I agree with you on that. But but again, like I said, and
what's that? Wait a minute, let me cut you off. But in that old saying where they say, "Don't sell your soul," do you think they're selling their soul?
That's exactly
like
what
Billy.
But
you think Billy put his on that picture on the screen right now? His face is what they say, beat to the gods. Do you think he's selling out his soul? Or is that just something he wants to do?
That's just something he wants to do, plain and simple. I mean, but because he's an effeminate man, and in a lot of cultures, especially black cultures, they look at that as that you going over there with that bruh, going over there, because I know that for a fact that in a whole bunch of African cultures, if you see a man that's like that right there, they in some cultures they put him to death.
Yeah, they do. And I didn't never understand that, but
that's
you're gonna always have some men that are hard, and then you're gonna have some that what they consider a little bit more feminine or a little bit more soft. It's not as hard as the warrior. Everybody can't be a warrior.
And that's another point I was getting ready to get at right there, is that people get the whole thing about manhood mixed up. They think that being hard, just rough, rugged, and raw is being a man. You're living proof to this. Am I rough, rugged, and raw? No, but I'm still a man.
Like my dad was. My dad was. My dad was very soft spoken.
Yeah.
very understanding toward me and my sister, his sisters, my mom, women in general.
Yeah.
He was an old school. I love it. Love it to this day.
Right.
In a lot of ways, you remind me of my father. But he would tell me, "Now don't come to me with that gay shit." He'll say, you know, but that's just his capacity or his understanding that was something he don't want to deal with at all.
Exactly my
I don't
point.
think he plays judgment on nobody.
Yeah.
Because we have some gay people in our family.
Right.
But he just be like, don't come toward me with that gay shit.
Right.
He, like he said, he held conversation with people. He'll talk to them, but don't try to touch him, kiss him, or anything like that.
And I'm the same exact way. And I'm the same exact way. I don't have anything against homosexuals. That if that's what you want to do, hey, knock yourself out. More power to you. Just don't come to me with it.
Right.
Yeah. But
do you think you can have a gay best friend?
I had a gay friend at one point.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had a gay friend. You know, he was cool. He never tried to approach me with that because he knew I wasn't down with that.
Would you hang out with him like what he wanted to, like, just say if he wanted to go to the club, would you go with him?
Go to where?
A gay club.
No.
Why?
I would tell him, nah, man, that's not my cup of tea.
Okay.
And not because it's a gay club, but because it's a club in general. I'm not really a club person. Never have been.
How? You used to be a DJ.
That's the only time I went there. Is when I was a DJ.
So you went DJ at a gay club?
I would.
I'm being funny.
I would DJ at a gay club. Yeah, just keep your ass over there.
And you never asked him, maybe this being too TMI, but you never asked him why or how, or did he
never asked him. I never asked him. Cause I looked at it like this, man. Because you know, when me and him first started hanging out, the first thing he said was, "I got something I gotta tell you." I said, "What is it?" He said, "I'm gay." I said, "So?" He said, "You don't care?" I said, "Nah, you're my homie, man. Shit, we cool like that." You know, just so you know, I ain't gay. So left it at that.
Just like you said several times, I don't care who you sleep with.
That's your business. That's what I told him. I said, "Look, man,
you cool to death. That's
exactly.
How I look at it.
That's all there is to it. Hell, I had a lesbian friend at one point. She decided she wanted to holler at her brother, but you know that was another story. That's a whole other story.
Interesting. Let's talk about that.
This is years ago, but anyway. Yeah, she was a hardcore lesbian, and she would tell me flat out, man, you know, hey, you know, she kind of fly, you know, well, I'm gonna try to holler at her. I said, all right, knock yourself out. And so one day, I'll tell y'all this. One day, I'm not gonna tell her, I'm not gonna say her name. One day, we was hanging out. I think it was either my apartment or hers, and
excuse me.
And she said, hey, I got something I gotta tell you. I said, what's up? She said, yeah, I'm kind of interested in somebody. I said, yeah. Who? I said, who is it? He said, well, it's not a girl. I said, it's a dude. I said, oh, for real? She said, yeah. I said, who? And she kind of just gave me that look. I'm like, I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, who is it? And she gave me that look again. I'm like, oh, okay. All right then. Well, I gotta go, and I bounced.
What? Now, why would you do that?
Nah, because like it threw me for a loop. It threw me for a loop.
And did y'all hang out after that?
No, we hung out after that for a little while, but she was still trying to hook up with a brother. Never happened.
You didn't think you'd be the one to change her back?
Well, you know, she had told me flat out. She said, you know what? I know that I like women, but it's just something about you that, you know, I'm just attracted to. I said, oh, all right then. I just left it at that. And I said, well, you got to think about this. You are a woman, and women have a natural attraction to men, no matter what. That's just how it goes. But you're my friend, and I don't want to mess that up. And she understood that.
Yeah. But I do agree with you saying, like, a lot of, I mean, I hate that, but I don't know if I should feel sorry for our young men that are raised by single mothers, because they don't get both sides of it.
Well, let me just say this real quick.
I don't know.
Let me just say this real quick. If a woman has to raise a male child by herself, if she has to, only she has to. And there's only a few reasons why a woman should have to raise a male child by herself. Is if the man is dead, he's in the military, he's deployed to another country, or for whatever reason he is locked up for a very long time. Now, with that said, to the fellas out there, and I hope y'all are listening. If you got children out there, especially sons, raise your sons.
Your daughters too.
And your daughters as well, because you have to understand something. And we've said this on this show on several occasions. Your children mimic what they see. I told my oldest stepson that. I said, you got 4 boys now, not 3, 4. You got 4 boys now. Set a good example for them.
Amen.
Stop running the streets so damn much, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you keep running the streets, they see you run the streets, they're going to end up doing the same damn things you're doing. Do you want that?
They repeat cycle.
They repeat that whole cycle. Now you ain't with none of these mothers, but yet and still you still run these damn streets.
I think you got 40. Go out there and get them 5.
Exactly. Because they gonna think it's okay. Her daddy's doing this shit. I'm gonna do that too. And thank God you don't have any daughters, because the first thing they gonna start doing, they're gonna get with the first fool with them, and they're gonna do the same thing to her that you did to those mothers out there.
They gonna run into a pimp named Slickback.
Exactly.
You so pretty. You so fine. Let me take care of you, girl. And she
exactly.
never heard that before. That's what
exactly
I be saying. My dad, man, I don't know.
Well, see,
my dad and my uncle, they were talking about.
Well, see, here's the thing.
They told me stuff. Like when I used to date and stuff like that, I'd be like, okay, and I've heard that before. It's nothing that a man could tell me or show me that my dad and some of my uncles and I already told me, showed me already.
And that's the way it
so
should
I
be.
Want, like they said, what they call them, daddyless daughters or whatever. Yeah. I can't relate.
And that's exactly it. And see, and that's again, fellas, while y'all out there listening, okay, a girl's first love is always going to be her father. That's the first man in her life.
Absolutely.
And so when you have that father-daughter bond, that daughter is going to say, okay, this man right here treated my mama like a queen.
Absolutely.
That's the kind of man I'm going to look for whenever I get my own husband.
Yep.
And so you have to understand that. You have to show your daughters what an example of a man's supposed to be.
That's right.
Now, if you out there hoeing around, guess what? The first thing they gonna do is get a player just like you, dumbass, and then you're gonna be pissed off when he does your daughter wrong. So think about that. Okay? Now, let's get back to these sons out here. Your son's gonna see you out there got 10, 15, 20 women, and 10, 15, 20 women got 10, 15, 20 kids with you. Well, they're not kids, they're children. And guess what your son's gonna end up doing? You're gonna do the same damn thing.
Some will.
Most will. Some won't.
But some will repeat the cycle.
Yeah, some will break the cycle.
It's just in my DNA. No,
yeah,
it's
that's
not.
just the way it is.
No, it's
so
not.
No. It doesn't have to be that way, brother. Make a. In other words, what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is be a good example for your children.
Absolutely. Male or female.
Male or female.
Son
be a good example
daughter.
for your children. Plain and simple. Be a good example.
Absolutely.
And I've always said that. Always be a good example for your children. Set a good example for them, man. And the same deal with you mothers out there. Let me get on y'all real quick. I ain't just gonna say it's a fella's fault. It's y'all's fault too.
Speak on it. What you trying to say?
I'm trying to say this real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Make better choices as to who you lay up with. Plain and simple. Just because a man got good hair, pretty eyes.
What brother Marco said, that everybody don't need to be under your cover.
Come on now.
Everybody don't need to be under your cover.
Come on now.
Sorry.
And that's exactly right.
Everybody don't need to share your cover either.
Sure don't.
See your cover.
There you go.
Smell your cover.
Come on now. Your body, you have to understand this, ladies. Your body's a temple. Treat it as such.
But I know we all have what they say needs.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't got to bring that to your home.
Hello.
I saw this on one of the shows. They talking about if that man can afford going to do something, let's just be real. Go get y'all a room somewhere. You don't need to be with him.
No, you don't.
Because everything don't need to be coming to your home.
Exactly. I mean, if that's what you want to do, hey,
Not
okay.
in front of your children.
I mean, don't let your door be a revolving door.
Absolutely.
Because your daughter see you got 3, 4, 5, 6 different men coming out your door. Guess what they're going to end up doing?
Yep.
And they're going to end up pregnant at the age of 13.
Uncle so-and-so. How many uncles do I have?
Yeah, exactly. How many uncles you got?
Well, like I said, we came to the same synopsis of 2 different streets, but I understand.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know, do we need to blame society for that, or do we just need to start holding some of these are grown men like a Jesse, or do we hold them accountable, or do we just let them live?
Well, at this point right now, I mean, I've always said this, and I'll continue to say this. I don't care who somebody sleeps with. That's your business. If that's what you want to do, knock yourself out. More power to you. I like women. You know, I'm married to a woman. 100%.
Already 100%.
Yes, indeed. That should go right there. 100%. Ain't nothing fake about that.
Nothing.
Sure ain't. But anyway, I like women. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and broadcast it to every damn body. That ain't nobody's business.
I'm pretty sure they look at you, they know that.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. But, you know, still. But that's the one thing I don't like about the Alphabet Brigade. They want everybody to know who they're sleeping with.
That's another thing I don't like either. You ain't got to broadcast that. Don't nobody care.
Some people
do, but a lot of us don't.
Most people in general, for the most part, don't care.
No. And for me, when you do something, you're trying to overcompensate for something else.
Exactly.
You probably not even how that way. They're trying to play a part.
There you go. I mean, it's a lot of folks out there that are gay as they want to be.
Attention whores.
Pretty much. That's exactly it. I mean, like I said, I put several examples out there as to who was gay and who wasn't gay, and a lot of people didn't even know they was gay. Case in point, Langston Hughes. A lot of people didn't know he was homosexual,
right. Mm-hmm.
And he was. Mm-hmm. He was gay.
Pretty
nobody,
much.
and people knew it. Didn't nobody care.
Didn't care because he put out some beautiful, beautiful works of art.
And I'm gonna tell you somebody.
Literally.
And I'm gonna tell you somebody else who was gay. A lot of people don't know about. Rudy Ray Moore, Dolomite. He was gay.
I didn't know that.
Didn't nobody care. People knew. They didn't care. Nobody cared. Nobody cared.
I'm pretty sure gayism, if that's a word, just didn't start. It has been around for mental, but people just did not. I don't know if
a lot of people knew. They just didn't care.
Like I said, people just. You don't need to be in my household. You don't need to know who I'm being with, whatever. As long as I'm doing what I need to do, that's all you need to know. But people these days, they just broadcast. And I don't even know why they broadcast.
Yeah, they want everybody to know. Who was that? Billy Preston. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. He was gay. Did nobody care? People knew it. They didn't care.
Didn't care.
They did not care.
And that's another thing. I know this is off topic. I know we have some recreation marijuana smokers.
Oh yeah.
Some people do it for a livelihood. Some people do it to relax. Some people do it because they have intense pain, like from lupus and things like
exactly,
that.
Yeah.
But whatever these young kids are smoking now, y'all gonna have to do a little better. Y'all walk in and it lifts up the whole place. Everybody don't need to know what you just did in your car.
This is a whole different grade of weed right here.
I don't remember it smelling like this at all.
I mean, we had weed heads in my school growing up. One of which was a guy that I knew very well, Cedric Winfield. God bless the dead. Everybody knew Cedric smoked weed. Everybody knew it. Cedric would go out into the parking lot, spark up a joint. You know, he would be hiding from the teachers, of course. Spark up a joint, come back in class, and eyes be just as red as you know. Cedric's eyes would be so red. You be in the hallway, he look at you, people just stop. He blink, they go. That's how red his eyes was.
Wow.
So, but anyway, he was a weed head. People knew it. But
everybody need to know your business.
I agree with you on that, man. But this weed nowadays, man, when I was working,
it's like it's a rite of passage. Exactly. They think it's something cool.
Listen, I don't care if somebody smokes weed. I don't care if you smoke weed.
Me neither. But I don't want to smell it either.
But I don't want to be
throw up.
Exactly, because that shit gets on your clothes and people think you smoke weed.
And that was so funny. It's like I was in the grocery store, and this guy and this girl, we was over there. I was getting some cheese. I'm a big cheese eater.
Yeah, she is. So am I.
And I'm like, let me hurry get off from over here because they gonna think that's me. And I walked away from them over maybe like 3 or 4 hours. I could still smell it.
You can still smell it.
And I'm thinking, did it get on me? And then when I got in my car, it was on me. I can still smell when I got in my car. Was on you. I said, that is ridiculous. I didn't hug nobody. I didn't touch them. We weren't even staying that close. We were just in the same proximity, and it got on me like that. That's ridiculous. And I don't know if they so used to it that they can't smell themselves. I don't know what they did, but whatever they're doing, they really need to. Everybody need to know your. Don't leave it at that. Everybody need to know your business.
I heard a story where
and stop trying to cover it up with cologne too.
That don't work. That makes it worse.
And perfume. That's worse.
I heard a story. I think it was Lil Wayne. He was getting ready to sell a house that he was living in. You know, the realtor couldn't sell that house because they reeked the marijuana.
It was in the walls.
Yeah.
They don't know it gets in the walls, the blinds, the carpet. It gets everywhere.
Yeah.
There had to be a detailed cleaning before he could sell that house. It had to be cleaned several times. Wow. That they probably did they sell it? Probably not.
I don't know. For a while, they couldn't sell the house because of the reach of marijuana. They could not sell the house because all they could smell was weed.
Yes, I don't care what you do. Like I said, some people do it for medicinal purposes. Some people do it to relax, whatever. But
I know several people that do it because it helps with pain. And I understand that
I know a lot of athletes who do it because of pain.
pain.
Shout out to Brittany Garner. Why she's still locked up, I don't know.
That man, that's good. That's a new one to me. That's a new one to me. But here's my question about the whole Brittany Garner thing. Since we're on that subject, this is gonna be a long show. But anyway, here's my question, babe, and I want your input on this. Brittany Garner has been in that jail for how long?
It's like 200 something, almost a year.
Almost the better part of a year.
It's ticking toward a year.
The better part of a year, correct? How come the Alphabet Brigade ain't trying to get her out?
That's the same thing. I didn't do one. I saw a documentary on that. And they was like, they protest for everything else, but they're not protesting for her.
I can tell you why.
I don't know.
It's the same thing Dave Chappelle was talking about. There's racism in the Alphabet Brigade, and he's absolutely right.
You think because okay, so if that was
Billie Jean King, yeah, she would
I
have
was
been
going to say
out.
Martina Mavranilova, ain't she? Yeah.
She's gay too.
Okay, so if that was her, you think they'd be over there protesting?
Man, please. That would have been. She would have been out in a couple of minutes.
Put things in perspective, don't it? Okay, that's the case. Black Lives Matter. Why they not over there trying to get out?
Good question. They gay as hell too.
And they for black people.
Yep.
I don't know. What she went for is so asinine.
I hope Dennis Rodman. I really do hope Dennis Rodman negotiates her
well, I think that's been shut down. I think he tried to go over there. They were like, "Don't come over here."
They shut that down.
They shut him down.
Okay. I was hoping he succeeded. I really was. I'm hoping he succeeded.
I guess the relationship with Kim Jong-un, which is totally different. But he said he got a relationship with somebody over there. Obviously, it didn't pan out because she's still in there.
Yeah, she's still in there.
But pray for her because I just don't understand why she in there that long. But that's another story.
I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's. I'm not gonna say no. That's not ridiculous. That's just flat stupid.
But Manhood, good show topic. I saw another aspect of it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think we came to the same resolution, but just came down two different streets.
Yeah, I mean that happens.
I just feel like a lot of this has been lost because we have a lot of single mother households, and some of these mothers thinking that they can do it on their own, and they really sort of need to be reaching out to some of these black organizations. Some of these frat brothers need to get together and train some of these young men. I know there are some frat brothers that do that. I'm not gonna say frat brothers, fraternities.
Yeah, I know that
does that. I know, like when I was growing up, the big thing was the YMCA used to do that.
Yeah,
and, pick boys up and take them to the baseball field. I mean, of course, that's a part of growing up in sports, of course, but they also showed them a different way of education as well.
Right.
And as far as participating in church services and things, there's like a whole garment of things that they should have. Let me say that I don't want to take nothing away from no black woman.
Right.
Nothing else. Cause like I said, y'all know I am pro woman.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And if you feel like you can't do it on your own, sister, you go right ahead. But to have a true understanding of what manhood was, you will never.
You can't teach that.
Ever
you can't teach that.
I know your mama probably taught you, or maybe you've been a lot of men who showed you and taught you. But you need to let your son talk to those men. You can't do that.
Really, exactly. And I've always told single mothers that. And
if I'm wrong, somebody please help me change my mind.
And just to piggyback on what you were saying, I had a plethora of male role models to talk to. I had my grandfather. I had my stepfather. I had uncles. I had countless older cousins. Eddie Dean is one of them. You talk to him. I've had my kung fu instructor. Short Chinese man would get my ass if I needed it. I had my Kenpo karate instructor, black dude, getting my ass if I needed it. And he was also a listening ear because he knew the black plight. He knew because he was a black man himself, so he knew. My Jeet Kune Do instructor, nice white man, he was cool, but I couldn't really talk to him the way I could the brother because he don't understand what
like. He don't know your plight as
exactly. He don't know my plight as a black as a young black man. So I had a plethora of people to go to. And so a lot of times the man ain't got to be in your house, ladies, It could be anybody. It could be if you go to a church. It could be your preacher or some of the deacons. Am I wrong?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Or some of the or some of the older male members of the church. It could be anybody.
Absolutely. And I stand on that.
Yeah.
If you don't have no male role models in your life that you feel like that are super fit, that are super what's the word I'm gonna put, intellectual, to talk to your child or express that kind of what you want your child to garnish from that man.
Right.
There's always one.
There's always somebody in your life. There's always somebody in your life.
There's always somebody.
That dude that you won't date because you think he's a square. Yeah, go to him. Yeah. He'll talk to your son.
Yep. I wanted to talk to you about something.
Okay.
I mean, it's off topic. Then we can close the show down. What do you think about? And I gotta say something because, like I said, she's a little of my shero.
Okay.
With the Olympics coming up, Stacey Abrams thinking about legalizing sports betting.
Sports betting?
What do you think about that? Cause I don't know. Were you there last night when Michael was talking to Pat and Pat was saying that they're paying the SMU players $34,000 a year?
Yeah.
Since when? I never heard that.
Yeah. That's something that not just SMU, is college athletes in general. If the school is making money off of their likeness, they're giving their college athlete to make some money off of that too.
Wow.
And that's cool with me. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all, because some of these children come from nothing.
And some of them play harder than these professionals.
And yes, they do. Yes, they do. Exactly. That's exactly it. But to answer your question, sports betting has been around since how long?
It's been like under the cover, like go down there and get some milk and tell Mr. Jimmy put 2 on blackjack. You know, that's been like that. It's not been nothing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Tell Big Ray, give me $10 on the Knicks.
Right.
Exactly. Put $10 on the Knicks to win.
But now it's going to be kind of like, I guess, like the lottery. Like the lottery is not like a hush thing anymore.
And that's cool. I don't have a problem with that, man.
I do, because to me it's like, here we are again, the government getting your bid to take tax dollars.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, the thing of it is, it's kind of a double-sided. It's kind of a two-edged. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. You're damn if you do, damn if you don't. Either way, you really go to jail
for placing a bet on the Knicks? Do you go to jail for that?
Sometimes you do.
Really?
Sometimes people do. Those illegal bookings, those illegal bookies, yeah. They used to go to jail for that. But then again, most of those illegal bookies were what color? Black. So to legalize it, to take the sting out of it, I'm for it, but you raised a really good point. If we did that, that means that the government is going to be making more money on something that black people invented.
Yep.
Because sports betting,
it's like you said, damn, you do, damn.
Exactly, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, so the sting is going to be out of it. All these undercover, like you said, bookies are not going to garnish as much as they used to.
It's the same deal. It's the same deal with legalizing marijuana. It's the same deal with legalizing marijuana. I knew that was going to happen because the government found out how to tax it and make money off of it.
But it's still not everywhere, though. Have you noticed that?
No, it's not. It trust me. I predict in the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be everywhere. Every state's going to be legal.
When they think about how they can get some money off of
exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Sad.
Once they figure out how they can get money off of it, increase their state revenue off of that, they're going to tax it just like they do beer and cigarettes.
Right.
So,
have you seen the cost of a pack of cigarettes these days?
I'm glad I don't smoke.
Whew.
I am glad I don't smoke.
Yeah.
I am so glad I do not smoke, and that's one habit I'm glad I never picked up from my mother and my stepfather, because both of them smoke.
That's what my dad just said. He said, I'm so proud none of my kids picked up my vices.
Yeah.
And none of us smoke. So
yeah. I'm glad I don't smoke, because Jay used to smoke, but Jay was in the military.
Pack?
Yeah. Woo. Yeah, Jay used to smoke. I think he quit. Because he was in the military.
I would these days. So because you probably smoke about 3 or 4 cigarettes in a day. And it's $10 a pack. I think only 20 cigarettes come in a pack. So like every other day you're spending $10 on a pack of cigarettes.
I've seen people smoke 3-4 packs a day.
Oh my God.
Packs.
That's $50 a week. Oh Lord Jesus.
So yeah, I think that sports betting becoming legal,
it's a good thing.
It's a good thing, but it could be a bad thing as well.
Double-edged sword.
So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Like I said, I mean, it's kind of. I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out.
Yeah, me too. I say just shout out to my girl Stacey. She always come with something to make me say, First she talking about paying cops more.
Yeah.
Now she's talking about legalizing legalizing bed. I'm like, okay, Stacey.
Right.
I wish I knew her garnish behind that. 'Cause I know she's running for governor.
I think
is she like catering to the masses again?
that's exactly what she's doing. I mean, because like I think that with this whole thing about legalized gambling, again, like I said, it's a double-edged sword, baby. It really is. I mean, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because either way, you're gonna get cut.
Yeah, you're gonna get taxed.
You're gonna get taxed no matter how you slice it. No matter how you slice it, you're gonna get taxed.
Yeah.
But it's like I told people, man. You know, we live in a capitalist society, and the capitalism, you gotta look at it like the pimp hoe system. You know, that's pretty much how it is. You know, who are the pimps? The government's the pimps. Who the hoes? We are.
I tell you, that's I should advise them.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's a system of pimps and hoes.
Yeah.
So I mean, they the pimps and we the hoes. So and we get out. We got. And because think about this for a second, babe. What does a hoe do? She goes out there, makes that money, and gives the money to who? The pimp. What do we do every year during tax season? We pay that money out. Yeah. Give it that money, hoe. So that's why I say
like I said, unless I'm just down out, I don't think I could be a hoe. Because I can't see going to get on my knees and my back and give it to somebody. I got to keep, I don't get none of, oh no. That's okay. I'll take my chances out here by myself.
You'll be an outlaw hoe, so.
I'll be out here by myself.
But yeah.
So what do you think about Danny Glover? Do you think he's a good role model, black man role model? I like Danny Glover.
I think Danny Glover, I don't like his political views. But I think Danny Glover he could be a positive black manhood role model.
I'm saying it's like sometimes excuse me, the entertainment value they do bring, like I said, the Cliff Huxtables and even though he was horrible with it, the James Evans and hell, even Fred Sanford. Fred treated Lamont like the first season he talked to Lamont like he was crazy. But then over time, him and Lamont, they became best of buddies. But he was a good father toward Lamont too.
You love Lamont
for all those years.
Yes.
Things like that, it just make you make you laugh, make you smile, then it some things were rhetoric and some things were serious. And like that time when JJ got shot, you know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what we can do. What can we do to get back to that aspect of the black man?
Well, getting back to the aspect of black men being black men, that is going to take a little bit of time because...
But in y'all's DNA, though?
It really is. It really is. Because I can tell you right now from my personal experience, from me raising my stepchildren, both sets of them. And I wish I could get Dante on the phone, but he keeps on changing his number the way people change underwear. He would tell you flat out that even though I was not necessarily hard on them, I just wanted them to be men. That's what I wanted. I wanted for those two boys to be men. And that's I guess because that's how I was raised. Because I was taught to be a man. I was taught you open the door for you, open the door for your ladies, which I do. You can attest to that. I was taught to open the door for a lady. I was taught that pay your woman some attention, buy her flowers for no reason, which I do that.
Absolutely.
So she loves it too, y'all.
Well, this is how I was raised. Like I said, we was raised in the country for a while.
Yes.
And my grandmother and my great grandmother. The boys would get in the yard, even though we was out there in the yard too, but the women will clean the house. Like we doing like a full clean, the guys would be in there helping us too, but more like we knew our roles in the family.
Right.
The girls would get up, clean up, wash clothes. The guys would go in the fields, bale hay, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know if that's where like I said, that's the way we was raised. Once you're done with your chores, if it's still sunlight, you go out there and hang with your friends, ride your bikes, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Have we lost it? Have we pretty much lost our children and our black family culture because of Nintendo and PlayStation and and computers and like they say, letting the TV raise your child and things like that.
Well, think about this, and we've talked about this on several occasions. It takes a village, correct?
Correct. I always say that. That's one of my main mantras.
That village is gone right now.
That's why I don't understand how though.
And that's the problem. And that's the problem that we're having right now at this moment. The village is gone. If we can get the village back, we'll be okay. But we got to get that village back, though.
You know, we putting a lot of weight on the black family. What about some of these schools?
Well, see, I was getting at that. See, that's where the whole village comes in. The village ain't necessarily just in the neighborhood. The village is the schools, the school teachers. You got to get these teachers out here that actually like what they do. You got a lot of teachers out here that are out here just to get a paycheck. That's it.
They sleeping with the students too.
And a lot of them are sleeping. Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of them are sleeping with the students.
I bet you, if I ask you this question, you can rattle off a good 2 to 3. How many favorite teachers did you have in school?
Let me see. Mr. Victor Balagbagan, that's one of my favorite teachers. Mr. Luke Singh, who taught my mother. And a black man named Mr. Houston. Mr. Houston had like one of those handlebar mustaches. But he was always the one, and this goes back to the village. Mr. Houston used to always tell us a man's supposed to give you a firm handshake. Firm handshake. You look a man in the eye when you shake his hand.
That's right.
You look a man in the eye when you're talking to him. See, that's what I liked about Mr. Houston. He taught us man lessons.
Man law.
Especially black guys, especially little black children. He taught us man lessons. The ones that weren't being taught, the ones that wasn't getting those man lessons from home, he taught us man lessons.
Absolutely.
That's what I loved about Mr. Houston. And I actually saw Mr. Houston one time. It was like 10, 15 years ago. I think I was in like it was either Kinko's or something like that. And I happened to look at him and said, Mr. Houston. And, there he was, Mr. Houston. He still had this same handlebar mustache and everything.
And that's what I'm saying. You can just right off have memory. You ask your kid now, I don't like none of my teachers.
Exactly.
I hate school.
Because a lot of those teachers,
what?
because again, it's like I said, babe, and it's to be true yourself. A lot of these teachers out here just to get a paycheck. That's the only reason why they're teaching, is just to get an easy paycheck for them. But yeah, I had a few favorite teachers, man.
Yeah.
A few. But those are just the 3 that I can think of right on top of my head. I'm quite sure if I thought about it for a little while, I could think of some more.
Not too many these days. They can let their kids.
But nowadays, man, exactly. That goes along the lines of that village we were talking about. That's part of the village is the teachers.
Yeah. It takes just because you're with the kids pretty much 7, 8, 9 hours a day.
Right.
You see them 5 days a week.
5 days a week. You know more about them than the parents do in some cases.
You gotta take some accountability. You gotta have some kind of empathy because they're sponges. Even though even if they are in high school, they're still sponges.
I tell people all the time whenever.
That's what the part of learning is, right? Being a sponge.
Exactly. I mean, I used to tell people all the time back when I was teaching martial arts on a regular basis. I used to tell people all the time. I used to love teaching the younger children between the ages of 5 and 13. They are the best ones to teach because they will do whatever you ask them to do.
They're excited.
They're excited about it, number 1, and number 2, they're willing to learn, and number 3, they will do whatever you ask them to do without question.
Right.
Whereas if you teach somebody that's in the teenage teens, or why we do it like this, and you say because I said so,
that's not a good answer.
To them, it's not a good enough answer. No,
I don't think no grown person should tell her. I think they should explain it to her. Don't tell them because I said so. No.
Oh no, I agree with you to a certain point, but I agree with you to a certain point. But I would always tell them flat out because that's the way it's been done for thousands of years. Why should we? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It works.
I agree with that.
So, but anyway, those are the ones I like to teach was the younger children because they didn't have anything. They didn't have anything to unlearn. They didn't have the bad attitudes. They didn't have the I know everything attitude. They said, "Ooh, I learned something new today," and that was the attitude that they had.
Right.
It's the same deal, and it was the same deal. Well, and when I was teaching Sunday school, I loved teaching the adults for the simple fact that even though they would question the lesson, I would always give them an explanation of the lesson, and I would also tell them where that story in the Bible came from. And how it originated and what it really means.
Speaking, I know we gotta wrap this show up, but did I ask you about Ricky Smiley saying that he's beginning to question some of the stories in the Bible?
Yes, you did say that.
Did you hear that?
I heard that because I looked it up when you told me about that.
So what do you think about that?
I think that everybody on the planet, if you follow any religion, you're going to question your religious beliefs. Everybody goes through that. Even clergymen go through that.
But do you think the way he was explaining is like it's making us be bowed downish? I don't know if that's the word now to white people.
Not necessarily.
Me
I mean,
I have never taken any story like that from the Bible.
I don't think that. No. But I do know this though. Black people in the United States weren't Christians before they got off their boat. We weren't. So, I mean, Christianity for the most part was basically shoved down our throats. So I can kind of see where he's coming from. But like I said, everybody goes through that. They go through that point where they start to question their religion and their religious beliefs. Is this really true? Should I believe this? So that's why I tell people to don't take somebody else's opinion of religion at face value. Study the Bible for yourself. You know, that you get a better understanding of the Bible if you study it yourself.
Absolutely.
Than you ever would listen to.
Just not the Bible. That's with anything.
Exactly my point.
Anything.
That's my whole point.
You'll be surprised and stuff. People, you be like, for real? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You see by this on here that it's the cats are falling outside. He believe that. Like, wow.
Right. Exactly.
And you all outside walking. Where a cat?
Exactly. Exactly.
You know.
Exactly my point. That's what I'm getting at right there. People need to take that and just make your own judgment on that. You know, plain and simple. And that's pretty much what Ricky Smiley is going through right now. We all go through that. Hell, I went through it.
But it just kind of shocked me to know that he always talking about how his grandmother raised him. He used to go to church all the time. He played the piano in church, blah, 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 blah. And then to hear him now as a grown man questioning the Bible, I was like, wow.
Well, like I said, we all go through it. We all go through it. But like I said, you know, and with anybody, I'm going to go ahead and say this and we can wrap the show up. Anybody that has any questions about the Bible or any religious book for that matter, there's two subjects you need to know a little bit about. One is called hermeneutics. Hermeneutics is how we translate the Bible, what we think the Bible says. The exegesis of the Bible is what the Bible actually means. You need to study those two subjects. Once you study those two subjects and you actually read the Bible, you'll understand everything in it. I promise you will. I had to do that. I did that with the Bible. I did that with the Quran. I did that with the Torah. I did that with the Analects of Confucius. I did that with the teachings of Buddha. All of them. Once you do that, you'll be all right after that.
Then sit down, like they say, read a book.
Read it.
And
exactly.
the Bible is an excellent book to read.
Yes, it is. It's a very good book to read. It's a very good book to read.
I know for a long time I was scared to read Revelation.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
But I get it. Like I said, I think right now what we living in now, as of 10:11 p.m. on 9/18/2022.
I got 10:18, babe. Are you sure?
We're living in last days if we're gonna judge our lives by the Bible.
Right.
So just get it for yourself. Get an understanding yourself.
Get an understanding for yourself. I mean, don't take somebody else's word for it. Don't believe it just because somebody else told you to believe it, man. But you know, it is what it is, man. So you know, we as people, people in general are curious by nature.
Absolutely.
That's just how we are.
I know I am.
And with me, I'm a Virgo. And with me, shit. Damn it.
Lord of Virgo.
I'm a Virgo. And Virgos are just, you know, people think that we're know-it-alls, but we're not. I don't know everything. I'll be the first to tell anybody. If I don't know something, I'll let you know I don't know something. But I will try to find out. That's just me. That's I've always been that way.
I'm a researcher.
Exactly. I'll find out. Yeah. I will find out, you know, because that way if somebody asks me the same question again, I have an answer for it.
Absolutely.
But I don't know everything. Even though my children, God bless them, think I know everything it is under the sun.
Yeah, Google.
Yeah. And people at work, ask Reggie. You know. No, I don't. Look it up for yourself. But anyway, good show, baby.
Good show. Very good show. Very eye-opening. Like I said, I'm not a man by no accounts, but to try to understand the plight, and to see, like you said, what's out here for us to be entertained by, it's an eye-opener.
Yeah, it really is.
Very good topic. Very good topic to speak
on. It really was. But like I said, that's how I came across that subject, and I'm like, man, you know, that'd be something good to talk about. So But we'll think of some other good stuff to talk about later on down the line.
Absolutely. And as always, guys, tell your friend about the show.
Smash the likes, man. I got a feeling
Notification bell when we go live.
Rod was in here for a little while, and so but he got out. And I got a feeling, Rod know a lot of folks. He gonna start, saying, "Hey, check the show out." So, he already said he would. So, I believe him.
Okay.
So, we'll probably be getting a big boost in people listening to the show, which is fine by me.
Absolutely.
The more people we reach, the better off we are.
And again, if there's any topic you guys want us to know about or expound about, please hit the email.
Hit the email, melanated@earthlink.net. We'll definitely, if it's viable, as long as it ain't about celebrity gossip. I don't do celebrity gossip.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, y'all. That's not what the show is all about. So, but anyway, we appreciate the likes. We've had some good comments on the show. And everybody likes how we bounce off each other. But y'all have to understand something. We said this on several occasions. We talk like this all the time.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, we had that conversation at lunch today.
Exactly. We talk about shit, everything. Literally. We're not holding anything back. We talk about everything,
And we go back and forth with each other. No disrespect.
Sometimes, yeah.
I'm getting mad. No getting mad. You just voicing your melanated thoughts.
Exactly. We're just voicing our opinions. Sometimes my opinion don't align with hers, and sometimes hers don't align with mine.
Absolutely.
It is what it is.
I ain't gonna be nobody's just woman.
Okay, and that's why I love her, y'all.
No, ma'am. No, sir.
And that's why I love that woman.
And I think that's how you communicate anyway, because everybody don't have the same mindset.
No, they don't.
I wasn't raised like you, even though we have a lot of similarities.
Yes.
I wasn't raised like you. First of all, you're a man. I wasn't raised like no man.
Right.
So I just think that's a good thing to do, is just have a conversation.
And we're gonna talk about that on one of the shows. We're gonna talk about how that could be our next show. The wedge between black men and black women.
Yep.
And the biggest wedge between black men and black women is communication.
Yeah,
it really is.
It is.
I can honestly tell you this, from just my 51 years, almost 51 years of living. Based on my experience, and I'm quite sure you'll agree with me. Based on my experience, a whole bunch of stuff will get solved. People will just shut up and talk.
Say it again for the ones in the back.
Exactly. Just shut your mouth and listen to that person that you're with. That's all you gotta do. Is just be quiet. Don't cut them off. Let them express their opinion.
You might learn something, a different way of looking at things.
Exactly. Just shut up and listen.
It's amazing.
If you think they're wrong, just say, "Okay, I have a different opinion.
I don't agree." I don't think it's gonna hurt nobody to say, "I don't agree."
Yeah, exactly. And it's okay to disagree.
Absolutely.
It really is. And you can agree to disagree, because I can tell you right now, there have been several times that me and this woman across from me have talked, and we didn't agree on anything we each other said.
Absolutely.
That's just the way it is. I'm still with her. I still grab her booty.
Oh my God.
But anyway, I had to put that out.
In the world. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's true, y'all. He does.
Yeah, I still do. Because like I said, there's times we just agree to disagree. That's all there is to it. That doesn't mean that I love her any less.
Absolutely.
And I never, nah. That's just
fine. That's the basis of communicating.
Exactly. To get a different point of view on something.
I'm not going to agree with me, and we can still be friends at the end of the day.
Exactly. And that's all there is to it. But anyway, that could be the next subject, man. Communicate. Black people communicating.
Yeah, we have a lot of that just in our culture alone. Don't bring another race, and let's just start with our culture alone.
Yeah. Let's
a lot
just talk
of
about
misconception about the angry black woman
or angry black man.
Don't listen. Yeah.
Right. There's a whole bunch of that, man.
You hear what you want to hear. Blah blah blah. You holding back. You're not giving me everything. So, yeah.
Right. There's a whole bunch to talk about.
Yeah.
On that. There's a whole bunch to talk about on that. So we'll get on that next week. That's our show for next week, y'all. That's it right there. She came up with it, not me.
Hot topic.
There you go.
Get y'all thoughts together. I would love to hear everybody's opinion.
Oh yeah, we definitely. Well, we'll try to be on time next week. Try to be on time this week.
Try to do a little bit early, maybe at 6.
Yeah, because it is football season.
Oh yeah. Most games don't go off to 6:30. Then the second one come on at 7. So
yeah, it's football season. We'll make adjustments, y'all. We'll make adjustments. But anyway,
all right,
let's get up out of here, baby.
Okay.
I don't know about you. I'm getting kind of hungry. So anyway, I'm Reggio.
And I am Mimi the Lady.
And we out.
Bye.